whatever else you're supposed to say. 'Cause
Just launch an apology, because that's what people do to save their careers.
that's all.
How could I have ever known that those poor
documents were classified and
those-
should not be taken off of the White House grounds?
You know what I was watching and I don't know how good any content I'm going to have for you today is, but I was watching
the party.
in my so this is the way that this is basically the way that like I gather my information for the week. I watch various videos.
It's good. We get a peek behind the curtain.
On a rabbit hole, and I try to like evaluate. We were just talking about this like pre-show,
Yeah.
pre-show.
Pre-show. Yeah.
I just gather sort of an idea of like our culture and what's happening through just watching various videos. I try not to stay too long on any ones that I like fucking hate, but I do stay a little long on the ones that I hate as well, so that I can get some more of like what that's I want to get a full sampling. I really don't want the algorithm to tailor stuff for me.
Yeah, that's the key.
You know
You
what I
gotta
mean?
just long enough. It's kind of like on a hot summer day when you got a whole pack of joggers going by, and you don't want to be like watching them go by.
Yeah.
So they're bouncing all over the place. So you just do a little side eye thing real quick, because you don't want the algorithm to catch on.
Right, but you do want the joggers to know that you did like to see them, so that they come back
That's the
again.
key. That's right.
Because you
Make
want-
it. Do another lap.
Another lap,
Do
please.
another lap. That's it.
You want to run alongside them for a little
Yeah.
while so that you can stay, but then you try not to be too obvious.
That's the key. Yeah, you wanna let them know, but not make it too obvious. Hey, Deirdre's here.
Hey, Deirdre.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I saw like Tom Cruise talking about It was so funny because it was Tom Cruise he's yet to be canceled, but surely a psycho,
oh, God.
and
Yeah.
Matt Lauer.
Mhm,
Remember that guy?
mhm,
That
mhm.
guy who like had all kinds of terrible allegations. He
was
lost his job.
Was
He
it
like,
sexual assault or
I
was
think
it?
it was sexual assault. I think in the
don't
workplace,
think
sexual harassment. in the
Yeah,
workplace.
sexual harassment. I think because I don't think he got like raped anybody or something.
Well,
But-
but
that-
sexual assault though is a lot broader. It's
Right.
He probably touched people, and I'm sure
Right,
it's.
right.
But that's a small step away from doing even more. That's the thing. If you have that mentality, I mean, you're in the realm of doing all kinds of awful shit.
Right.
So fuck that guy. But it was so fucking ridiculous because he was sitting there arguing about. He was arguing with Tom Cruise about psychiatry, and Tom Cruise was like, I know the history, Matt. I know that psychiatry, it's there to mask the problem. When I got into Scientology, it's talking about a high horse from Scientology. He sounded like Alex Jones. I've seen the documents. I've seen the documents.
That's because L. Ron Hubbard went to a psychologist like very briefly, and they told him that he like had all these like personality defects,
Mhm.
and he refused to acknowledge it.
Mhm.
And so when he started building Scientology, he basically said
Insulated
like,
people
this is-
against that.
Like don't believe.
Don't go to someone who can tell you that you have a problem that needs to be addressed.
That's
He's the
it.
well, Tom Cruise is still a piece of shit, and so is Matt Lauer.
That's it.
Tom Cruise. I found it funny that recently I read or heard somewhere that Christian Bale
Yeah.
based his performance from American Psycho
Yeah.
on an interview he saw Tom Cruise do.
Oh, I
Because
believe
it was
it.
all smiles and looks and nothing behind his eyes, and that's what he tried to capture in that.
That's a success, I'd say.
Man, he was like arguing about against like medication and stuff, and there's
Tom
like,
Cruise was.
yeah.
Oh,
and
sure.
then Matt Lauer's like, well, it's for some people it does help, and you can't say it doesn't. He's like, no, I don't understand. You haven't read the history on it. And
Yeah.
but he doesn't proceed to
No,
explain.
Right, no, there's no
when-
explanation.
When
Only
people say,
trust me, I know I'm right.
trust me, I know has been the downfall of fucking civilization.
Just go along.
That's religion.
Just do it.
I mean, isn't that the religious defense always?
Of course
Trust
it
me,
is.
I know.
I know what it is.
My God
right?
figured it out.
Listen, I've got this book, okay? It's thick, it's heavy, I can throw it at you. I've never read it, but it'll really hurt if it hits you in the face. So you better listen to what I have to say. That's the bottom line.
That's the summation. I haven't read it, but it's thick and it's heavy. I'll throw it at you.
I'll beat you with it. And you'll agree with me eventually.
The truth is
Just-
inside of it.
That's right.
If you happen to look
And trust
inside,
me, these pages are not going to be the only thing that's cracked open. Okay.
that's our brain blows down on his head.
Rain flows down on him. I said there has to be a better way. Festivus for the rest of us. Well, we got Allison here. We had a third. They left. So,
Of course,
you know what that means.
we got to start
It's time
now.
to start the show.
Let's always have somebody that piques their interest, and immediately we reject them.
We have to wait for one of those fireworks to go off there.
That's right.
To shine bright like a diamond.
Know that we're failing. That's what we want to see.
Fail upwards.
That's right. Well,
Well,
whichever way we end up going.
whatever way it
We
is.
can't avoid failure, though.
That's tell that to all the magnets. Nothing but failure. I don't know what that means.
Well, who cares?
It doesn't matter.
That's we're terrible. That's the point.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Kickstart with Matt.
And Matt,
Oh man, that was
you're pulling
I'm
muscle on
ready.
that
I'm
one.
ready for vacation. That's all I gotta say.
That's right.
I'm ready for vacation. I'm drinking. Got my vacation. I'm even doing it in a Royal Caribbean glass,
Ooh,
which
you're
is from
doing
a
it.
cruise that I've never been on.
I was gonna say, is that
Drinking.
a souvenir,
Drinking my coconut. Yeah, just not for
or
me.
is it just a posturing move?
It's just,
You're like, look at me, I know how to have fun. I've been on cruises.
I'm Babe Ruth in it right now. I'm pointing to the bench. Yeah.
Aiming for the fences,
Aiming for the
baby.
fences.
He's calling
Here we go.
He's calling his home run out before he even swings.
That's exactly right. That's it.
I'm going to be passed out in about 40 minutes.
I'm gonna have. I even got a hat. I got a hat to put over, a white hat. I'm gonna be set. I'm gonna be all my skin's gonna be bright red,
Oh
except for my
God.
face, because the hat's gonna be over it. I'm gonna be unconscious in a beach
Hold on
chair.
a minute. Don't call it a hat.
Why?
I mean, it sounds. You're just going to have like a white thing over your head?
It's a hat. It's
Does it
a
have a point on the
no.
top?
No, it has a very wide brim.
You're hoping the shade was going to keep your face. And it's not like
The hat's going to keep the shade off my face because I'm going to fall asleep in the chair and I'm going to my head's going to be down and it's going to block all the sunlight from getting on my face.
Right.
So that I'll keep my baby smooth skin texture
wrinkle-free
on the
skin,
face.
yeah.
But the rest, it's going to be like. Did you ever see that
Oh,
episode
like
of
a
Tales
hot
from the
dog
Crypt?
and rolling
Did you ever
on
see
the
that?
rotisserie?
That's absolutely exactly what it's going to be like.
Like
That-
a Crypt Keeper?
no, that episode of Tales from the Crypt where it's an old man who like falls in love with this woman, and she keeps like telling him like something that she wishes he had that he doesn't have, and so he goes to this doctor who's like, I wish you just had really strong arms, and so he goes and like gets these really strong arms, and they're like, where are these coming from? And this huge like muscular guy, like an Arnold guy, comes into the room, and he has like old man arms on him. So
What?
this doctor, seriously,
Who's consenting to this?
no, he's like I don't know.
He's
There's
like one of those people sewing bat wings onto a
Yeah,
rat or something.
right, exactly. It's this back alley surgeon guy, and he's cutting pieces off of this
The
off
fact
of this muscle
that's
guy.
actually extremely impressive that he's able to like match up all the nerves to the nervous
He's got it.
system.
Yeah,
That guy's
And
actually
he's-
a genius.
he's got
dude.
like Coke bottle glasses and everything like that.
oh my god.
So he's had nothing to do in his whole life except study medicine because
He would
nobody
be-
ever wanted to talk to him.
if that guy could horrifically Frankenstein people together, he
Mhm.
would be the most famous doctor of all time.
That's
Because
the
you
idea.
can't even do that.
Right.
You can't actually do that.
Well, according to what we're aware of, say that's the thing.
So like he's just gonna have big saggy arms in about 5 years because he won't be able to work them out because
Well,
his
that's
bone structure can't handle the kind of weight.
So what happens is,
so he's just getting up. This is fucking nuts. Okay,
he gets the arms, and she's like, oh, but they like go for a walk or something, and he's wearing shorts, and she's like, oh my god, your legs. And he's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And he goes back to the guy, and he gets the muscle legs sewn on. He still has an old man torso, of course. And finally, it's no. The first thing I think he gets is the face.
The first thing he should probably have been referred for is his saggy old dick.
Well, I think that was the last piece that they changed.
How is that the last piece
Because
of the puzzle?
he was just
she's
courting.
fine. Oh, okay.
They were just courting one
So I
another.
was gonna say she's fine with that saggy ass, but
That's right.
But she's like, oh, you better change that wrinkly face. Also, what kind of maniac doesn't think something super weird is happening when he just suddenly looks like a whole different guy now? Or that he's
it's such
together.
a miracle. It's a miracle. Yeah, there's got to be suture marks. I mean, he's going to her immediately after these surgeries.
I mean,
there's no recovery time.
Recovery time's like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm talking about not even anything that serious.
Give me a break, Crypt Keeper. I don't believe any of this bullshit.
You mean to tell me this reanimated corpse over here telling me the story?
Yeah.
That this is how fast he can recover? No way.
Give me a break.
And maybe that doctor does keep the recovery time down.
Yeah.
And that's even more reason to think
That's
that
what
he's
I'm
the most
saying.
brilliant doctor
He's
of all
doing
time.
it like cryo freezing chambers and shit. So by the end of the episode, what happens is there's a whole body swap. So basically,
so now it's just that new guy.
he's this giant muscular guy, and then the old guy has basically sold everything that he had so that he could pay for. He used to be rich, but he sold everything that he had to pay for all these surgeries.
You're talking like Elon Musk rich, because there's no way that wasn't so
I guess.
expensive.
So
even the back alley surgery
you
price,
know
is probably
what?
pretty high.
It's higher in the back alley.
Yeah, because you
There's-
don't have any insurance. Who's
That's
got
right.
back alley insurance?
That's right.
Let's start a back alley insurance. But rock bottom.
Back alley
health,
insurance company.
We'll get you. We
Don't
got you
worry.
covered. Pre-existing conditions, bring them on.
Just
We
keep it
want
in
to
the
cover
dark.
that. Keep it all. You know how many people would flock to that?
Oh my god.
Fuck universal health care. We don't even have to get to that.
Don't
point,
even worry about it.
because everyone will just get on our plan.
All you
and
gotta
they'll
do.
have plenty of money to cover. Because the idea of insurance is supposed to work like Social Security. Most
Right.
people don't need it, but those who do need it, it allows the money to be funneled over
Yeah.
towards those who need it. But this whole denying based on pre-existing condition shit,
Right.
like that's you're just casually okay with people dying in this country.
No. Yeah, sorry. You have cancer.
You have cancer. We can't cover you now.
Can't
But
cover you.
I kind
sorry.
of need insurance like now, like
Yeah,
more
right.
than I ever did. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Tough
yeah.
shit for
Let
you.
us know if you ever don't have cancer.
So- Sorry that you weren't 5 years old thinking, I might get sick one day and signed up for this. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
right,
So
exactly
anyways, going back to so they did there's a full body swap. He's got no more money.
He's got no more money. It goes back to the woman, and he finally says, "Look at me. I'm young. I have all these muscles and everything." And she says, "Yeah, but you're poor." And then she ends up with
This is the shallowest bitch
She-
I've ever
she
heard
is,
of in my
and she
life.
ends up with the old man, which used to be the big muscle guy, and they walk off, and that's the end of the episode.
That sounds like some kind of botched Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, that's what the whole point of Tales from the Crypt was.
Yeah, but usually it's supposed to be more like horrific and kind of like a little bit more okay with like gore and spooky and supernatural.
Well, yeah,
Like I guess Twilight Zone is that's really the grandfather of like all these things.
it is. It really is. I've been going back because I've got that on the Plex server. I've been going back and watching those
It's
old
so
episodes.
good.
Oh my god!
Oh, God.
Same thing with fucking Star Trek. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. But
yeah.
like
You're talking about the Kirk Star Trek?
yeah, the original, like, but the remastered versions of those things. So they went back in and did CGI for the planets and all different things like that,
What?
as opposed to what they had before.
Oh, I wanted to see the golf ball on a string, dude.
That's
Come
all
on.
it was. Well, they got they have
I
that
don't-
available too.
Okay, good.
I'm looking for. I want the as modern of an experience as possible. It's
Do
absolutely
they
wonderful.
CGI over like the rubber monsters, or are they?
No. All the practical effects are all still
Okay,
there. It's
yeah.
just like the cutscenes.
Do you imagine though? Do you know that they're probably going to do that at some point? They're going to just CGI over top of like. I'm surprised that they're not. And maybe the technology hasn't caught up quite yet. I think we're there. I'm surprised that they're not just CGIing like over these old actors
Yeah.
and doing just direct sequels to really old movies. Like they should CGI up
Oh,
and
yeah.
well, they did CGI up in
They're working
Arnold,
on that. Yeah.
like Terminator and stuff like that.
Right.
It just still looks a little bit suspicious.
It-
It doesn't
it's-
quite look.
And
right.
that's the thing. I've been paying attention to like the things that really used to stick out, which was like the hair
Mhm.
and the clothing, because they had really hard time
Yes.
with all those
And
dynamics.
the lighting off of those things.
Yes, yeah. There was always some variation, and you can really tell it. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, of course, I've watched that 4 billion times, and
Yeah.
and
I'm
watching
the only one in the
Mr.
world.
I know. I'm the only
It
reason
sucks.
anybody knows what it is. But Mr. Hyde, when he gets up real big, like there's certain parts where he's moving through because they did like intercuts
Mhm.
of him in like foam, like
Mhm.
prosthetics, and then when he's doing crazy jumps and shit like that, they CGI it. But that is the problem. It's always the lighting. It's
Yeah.
always the lighting that fucks everything up.
You can tell it's a little bit unnatural.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that in the second to last season of Love, Death, and Robots,
Yes.
there were a couple of episodes that were fully CGI
Yeah,
that
man.
I didn't fucking know whether they were even at all CGI at first.
Have you watched the new season yet?
I think we're in the midst of watching it still.
Did you see the one with the 2 scientists and the one is living with those hive mind aliens? I'm not going to be more specific.
Oh yes,
than that. Wasn't
was
that
fucking nuts?
Oh my god, I love that episode so much.
Oh man,
I
that
loved
was
it
weird.
so much. Oh my, that was like one of my favorites
That
out of that
definitely
whole season.
Gave me sort of the same kind of vibe as the Beyond the Ocular Rift.
Yeah,
because
man.
That one fucked me up.
Oh my god, I loved it so
Mm-hmm.
much. It was so good.
It was very
So good.
interesting. But see, that show is starting to play with the technology being. I think it's because they're selling you
Yeah,
the environment first,
yeah.
and then just sort of like working it in, like working the character in.
Oh,
I think it's a
man.
composite of actual, like it's just like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think it's a composite of like real life acting because Michael B. Jordan's in one of them,
Right.
And he's like, I think they just CGI'd over his face, but it's like the acting is all.
It's like what
the
they did.
mocap,
It's
I
what
guess.
what they did with Beowulf.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like with Angelina Jolie and what's his face, the Gladiator,
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yeah, and I forget who else. I think they were the main. Oh, Anthony Hopkins was in it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that was fucking phenomenal. I really loved watching that that movie when it first came out because that was.
Were you in my Brit Lit class? Was Mrs. Warner?
I had her. No, I wasn't. No, because I didn't have. Or did I? Shit.
I thought we were in the same class.
We might have been.
But-
did
but
she?
anyways, you
did she
had her
tape?
doing Beowulf.
Yeah, and she like had like Grendel's arm, and she like taped it to the door frame or something like that.
Yeah, she would play Grendel.
Yeah.
Which was fun, which is still in my mind.
Oh, I love it.
Doing this fucking voice, she was so crazy. She's like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just everyone else will be the characters.
Yeah, she brought that
She
shit
was
to
so,
life.
She was so fun. She was the teacher that got me into doing honors because she's
Right.
like, you write too well
Yeah.
to be in this track.
Yeah.
You need to go up. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Shit, sorry.
I'm so sorry. I don't like reading this fucking writing. I'm supposed to read dumb people stuff.
Oh man.
It was nice to have somebody. I was the only teacher in the history of my like academic high school career
Yeah.
that ever like acted like I was more than just average.
Right.
And that's sad. Like the
Well-
only person that gave me any encouragement.
I mean, she gave me encouragement too.
she was a great teacher.
She kept me from walking off a cliff a couple times. That's great. Yeah.
It's kind of people that we need in education.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what we need. There's a great little chat going on in the chat here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's people just having their own conversations. They're like, whatever, the Mats are talking. We got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, it's just
That's how I want it. I want us to be background noise.
everybody's just
Put us in the
catching up. They're all talking to each other, saying how they're doing, and then Deirdre was saying that was an awesome episode. That I fucking love that episode.
Oh, yeah.
and I only like that. I only like the episodes that make me cry.
Hey, look.
And Juan is here.
Number one.
Number one is here, and he's looking forward to his weekend.
Hell yeah.
So
Long weekend, Juan.
that's it. That's
I know Juan's gonna do
That's
some
his-
fun plans. We have a
that's his name
weekend
this
coming
time.
up.
Long weekend, Juan.
Long.
It's a long.
It's Juan.
This
long
weekend coming up.
weekend.
It's a long one. Yeah.
That's a
That's
long
right.
one.
That's right.
Oh man,
That's
I
it.
love that he does.
That's it.
I love that he graciously doesn't express
It's-
any annoyance that we use this joke over and over
Expresses
again
the word. That's it. Yeah.
constantly.
Once
We
we
know
know
he
on
feels it.
Friday too.
Oh sweet. Oh, me
Got-
too, Juan.
Really got that long.
I'm getting a procedure done.
There you go.
They're gonna go check my colon for some
Mhm.
stuff. I have to get it earlier. I have to get it done earlier because of my family history since my dad had cancer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to a doctor's like a physical, and I was like, because I'll be 34
Right.
in just short of 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, 35 was I thought it was like 30 originally.
No.
I heard, but 35 I think is the date or
Yeah.
is the age for me.
Mhm.
They actually pushed it back for the average person. I think like 40.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what my doctor was telling me. And usually it's like 40.
Hmm.
But now for somebody with a family history, so I'm going in on Friday and just getting it checked out. I'm sure
Sure.
it's not going to be anything.
Well,
But I'm not looking forward to the prep for it because I basically got to like
Right.
empty my whole all my bowels out. It's
Yeah.
like, and then they front the cost on me.
Yeah, of course they do.
I have to pay for like Gatorade, like Miralax, Gas X,
Yeah.
all this fucking crap.
Yeah, you got low that, or you could just borrow both of my shop vacs. Put one
Oh.
on suction and one on blow.
If we put a camera on there though, we just send
I've got-
it right through my
I've got
system.
a 50-foot endoscope.
Huh?
I've
Or is
got
it Roto-Rooter.
No, it's an endoscope. I've got it because I had
What?
when I was trying to find that leak in all the pipes and shit,
Yeah.
and I was using this thing and just pushing it all through.
Do you want to put that in me?
Well, I mean, we can wipe it off.
With a dirty rag? Yeah, let's use it. Here we go.
It's fine.
Open up.
Yeah.
And I don't mean your mouth. Spread your cheeks. I'm gonna check inside. Make
Stop
sure it's
clenching.
all right.
Breathe.
Did you sure don't want the anesthesia? It's like a hamburger. No. I'm gonna anesthetize you.
I did a special weekend course on Civil War era anesthesia. All right, you're not letting me use it.
If we can't get this in,
God,
we gotta have
damn.
to cut your butt off.
Oh, that's it. Listen, we're just gonna have to cut it. Just do a bias. Just cut it. Just we're gonna look down the middle. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna do a buttectomy on
There
him.
was nothing wrong with
Saw
this.
the cheeks right off. He's perfectly healthy. We're gonna get that
Well, he
Tales
was.
from the Crypt back out of the doctor, give me a new butt.
All we got is this old
That was-
saggy
he's-
guy.
he
He
was
was,
a-
the only he was the only patient I ever had.
He's really rich though, so
Yeah.
we'll give you money to take his
That's
saggy
right.
ass. All right, that's fine. Yeah. Give me a
It comes
$4
with the pants and it's got $1 billion in it.
in the wallet. It's $1 billion bill. He's just one, and it just has Elon Musk's face on it.
Yeah.
His upper lip is permanently frozen there.
You just got to, yeah.
So when we talk about population control, it's the problem is that we have too much shit left in houses now. Like, what are you talking? Like every time I see him talk. When people act like he's some kind of genius, I just want to fucking scream. He
They don't get
is the heir to a fucking emerald mine. He is not a smart, like, I think he's got a mental problem.
Well,
I think he's crazy, actually.
all that mineral dust. I mean,
Ah.
you breathe enough of that in and you get stoned, folks. That's what happens. So, you know.
He was like a coal mine child. He's in there.
Yeah, right.
Taking it away. He's got black lung. That's why he can't move his upper lip.
So, you know, so Juan says he's going in on the 30th for one.
Oh, you're going in for your procedure, Juan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Well, I guess yeah, because Juan's a little bit older, and I think
Juan's
he's
second,
closer
says,
to.
yeah.
Oh, so you're second one.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's best to do it from based on what happened to my dad. It's
There
best
you
to go
go.
keep up with it because if there's anything that they find in there, usually if you're up to date with it, they just snip it right out and it's over.
Right.
Like, it's not a big
Right.
deal. It's very preventable,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard to manage.
Absolutely.
When it gets out of hand.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad you're keeping up with your health, Juan. That's smart.
That's
Everybody
the way to
should
do
do
it.
that.
Juan's
And
got
our-
too many movies to do.
That's right.
Got
Juan
too
has-
much.
Juan
Too
has
many Monster Cons
A
to go
long
to.
career and more Monster Cons to
That's
go
it.
to.
There's, yeah.
And he needs more references for our show because if we lose one, we don't have much after
we're,
that.
we're
Let
gonna
me
be
tell you something.
fucked. Yeah, because
I can't be making these jokes.
we had a hard enough time getting the staff that we have, right? ZipRecruiter won't return our calls.
We need Indeed, Matt.
We're basically at the point where we're going to drive around the Home Depots and get
People standing up front.
questionable immigrants.
People with questionable
Yeah,
questionable citizenship.
yeah.
status.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
And that's fine. They'll work hard though. I mean, we put them to work doing anything. Let me tell you something. That's the hardest working group of people I've ever worked with.
That's the way it goes, you know.
And I mean, I know I work for the government, but before I used to bust my ass. I
Yeah.
promise. I used
Right.
to actually have.
There was a time.
There was a time back in the days when I was young and still foolhardy.
So I'm not going to say who's here right now, but I'm going to tell you this way.
Oh man! Wow. I see.
That's-
Only in the
Yep. That's
boo.
Yeah.
I know we always love the last one.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we miss our Chris.
Oh,
I
cool.
do.
Chris says that he was going to try and surprise us. Deirdre says, "Chris, why are you here?"
This is why Deirdre works. for
That's
us.
exactly right. This is why we need Deirdre on the team. Like the other job positions will not be easy. I mean, we sure as hell would never be able to replace Deirdre with all the
Mm-mm.
No, it's
Because I spent some time doing the social media account for us, and I was like, none of this is working out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only thing that we maybe could stand to do would be to make short snippets and just pop them up on our Instagram and hashtag the shit out of it.
Sure.
But I leave that up to Deirdre because I don't know if that's like an outdated thing to even do anymore.
Now people do that sometimes, but I think that
We got to get in that rabbit hole, man. Like that's where I think that we. I think if we're gonna find any success, it's gonna be there. But once again, I don't know if I even want that. You know what I mean?
see we need
I don't know if
what
I want that kind of attention.
what we need.
We're gonna get canceled.
We need to get canceled.
Yeah, I would actually feel like I made it if we did get canceled.
How would they do that? Like just be like, no. They just come on Tuesday, be like, you can't record.
You can't do this.
No,
stuff.
you can't. No.
I mean, like we would have to ascend to some level of recognition first,
Right. That's the
and
first
then
thing.
have people come back and say, we don't like what you stand for. We
That's
don't like
it.
your ideology.
That's it.
You're done.
Yeah.
But that means that they would have to go back through our backlog
See,
and
and that
listen to
means
all this shit.
We're getting those
and
numbers.
take it out of context, which means people are listening. Thank
We
God, finally,
finally
we
made
made
it.
it.
We made it through this cancellation process.
If you're worth getting complained about,
That's it.
you're making an impact in this world.
This is the goal.
I
You
just
need.
want people to complain about it.
That's it. You just got to shoot for the bleachers and hope you land somewhere amongst the pit. Yeah.
Land up in that fucking get caught up
Like,
in the
and
lawnmower later.
don't ask yourself why you're jumping off the stage of the musical. Just it's not about
The
that.
hills
You're-
are alive.
You're missing. Slayer! Yeah, that's
Open this fucking pit up! Did Tevye just say open this fucking pit up? I don't know, man.
if I wasn't rich,
I can't get over this great fiddle. Like people just fucking like hardcore dancing to that, swinging their arms and legs back and forth.
Oh man, we got
Punching out old
we gotta
ladies and
intercut
crap
that.
like
We got to intercut that. That's great.
We're going to the greatest musical on earth.
man.
And we're going to Jesus Christ Superstar
That's
tonight.
it. Oh yeah, you know it. You know it. And they updated it.
Stage
This
dive
is it.
bomb.
This is the James Hetfield update.
Yeah, they worked Master of Puppets into it because the Stranger Things stuff. These kids nowadays are trying to get him into Jesus, make him cool. They still wear bell bottoms, but dude, they're shredding now. It's dope.
It's nothing like watching Tevye rip out a sweet solo when he's dancing around on those straw rooftops.
If I was a rich man.
Sometime when they throw the pyro out, it catches the roofs on fire. That just makes it more exciting to go and see live. You never know what's going to happen. It's not the same when you watch it on YouTube the next day or read the coroner's report.
You haven't heard music until you've heard someone screaming in agony.
That's right.
Over,
Let me tell you what.
over faulty
If
pyrotechnics.
the 90s taught us anything, it's that you haven't heard music until you've heard someone who's on fire screaming.
That is all I want to hear.
That's a whole subgenre. Pyrocore, you know.
Pyro.
It is now.
That probably is a subgenre.
Again, there are 6 people watching this right now. What the fuck is going on?
I can't even name 6 people that'll come to my funeral.
I'll tell you, I'd be happy if that one of them left. Thank God. I hope it happens at the funeral too.
Somebody walks in, man, this is really fucking lame.
We only brought 3 chairs. Yeah, sorry.
Could you imagine somebody
Just
turning
sit-
around out of your
Just
funeral?
sit on the coffin. It's all right.
This blows.
It's got room.
What is this? This sucks. There's not even
I
snacks.
thought there was going to be pyrotechnics.
Dude, I thought this was gonna be sweet. That's a real downer. Fuck this. I'm leaving.
Peter says this is a lame funeral.
This funeral blows.
This is a terrible.
Where's the
Yes.
strippers at?
There's no calamari bar. What the hell is this place?
What kind of fucking-
What do you get
What
cremated?
kind of loser died?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Move over, I'm getting in.
Stick me in a
I'll tell you,
mausoleum.
my default gift these days is the one of the Wayans brothers. I don't know which one of it is, but they're jumping into a grave and they're just pulling dirt over themselves and smiling. I fucking love that. I use it for everything because it perfectly summarizes my feelings. So it's wonderful to experience all that, but. I don't know if my phone is picking up all the comments that are going on here, but my phone has just been buzzing nonstop. I don't know what's going on.
It's
And
constant.
now that I said that, I'm sure Chris is going to send me 4,000 text messages.
he's going to bomb you on both accounts. He's going to send it through with a
I'm sure
Facebook
he is.
Live.
I'm sure he is. We're going to cancel him again.
Chris, the only thing I want to cancel is that you don't drive out here on Tuesdays and come see us. One Tuesday every,
He said he was going to do it
every
today.
so often. What?
He said that he was going to surprise us, but he didn't end up.
That's all he.
So, AKA, it's the
Talk
same
is
as
cheap.
That's exactly right. Talk is cheap, and I got a lot of bills to pay.
There's
So,
inflation is at an
if there's
all-time high.
if there's one thing I've learned from hamsters that are generating the power for most of Alaska, it's that if you stop, everybody dies. So you just keep running away from your problems. Sometimes you don't get anywhere, but you keep moving.
That's both like some literal and metaphorical explanation for like how our economy works.
You're
too.
welcome.
We're
Yeah,
all just
yeah.
running away from our own problems.
I'm the genius.
Just with that's right. The Royal Caribbean has
The Royal
has
Caribbean.
imbued Matt with his
I finally-
wisdom juice.
This cruise that I've never been on has finally imbued me with strength of mind. I can finally think straight.
It gives you intelligence +3.
That's it.
Chris
That's
has it
right.
coded into ESO.
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
He doesn't even do coding.
It's part of the latest update. Yeah. But that's sometimes you just have to enter into a world where everything is just a little bit better than you thought it was, and then you wake up from that dream, and then you just grab the complimentary Royal Caribbean cup that you found in the closet or something.
Mhm.
Where I don't even remember where I found this, but I keep it specifically to drink coconut rum out of because it's my.
It's got the flume. It's got the right
That's what you want, and
mouth open.
it even has their little logo as the stem.
Oh, it does.
That's how you know you went the extra mile.
Mhm.
You had to spend the extra $5 at the buffet to get one of these.
That's
I'm
right.
assuming. And
how far we've come.
that's-
Manufacturing is we can make kitschy stuff that
Oh.
in like the Middle Ages would have taken a person by hand like a month to
Oh,
make.
it's way more than that. You're
Like,
talking,
isn't it funny we all still are gravitate to that kind of shit?
Yeah.
But we can basically make it on like super cheap.
and that's it's when I remember my parents talking about when they went to Italy and stuff. They took for like a couple of years back before my sister and I were born. They traveled all over the country, like in Europe and shit. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they went.
shit.
They went to Rome and a whole bunch of places in Italy, and they were talking about all these street vendors who were always like selling these things that were like artifacts and shit like that, but they were all just reproductions of everything.
Mhm.
That's basically the world that we live in, except that's also the internet, where people are like this. Like we were talking about in the pre-show. This is Tom Cruise saying that. Trust me, I know the history.
Trust
I
me.
got the history. I've got it.
I know.
I've got the textbook, and I'll hit you with it if you don't believe me.
It's heavy.
And I won't blink. I can't see anything. I've been blind for years. I just have a really good. I have that thing. I remember there's an episode. I think it might be a Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman, which I've talked about before,
Mhm.
where there's a guy who's blind, and he rides a bicycle. I've talked about this on the show by clicking.
In my videos, I just was scrolled through this video today.
Ah, there you
It
go.
was like 5 different people with like these superhuman abilities.
Right.
And he was number 1. He echolocates around the world. Like this guy, like legit, he lost his eyesight when he was very young or something.
Yes.
And he just echolocates himself around. He can like ride his bike on busy highways and stuff.
He was doing like they had like a tennis court. They put traffic cones all around, and he's fucking clicking like a bat, driving around all these tennis cones. These traffic cones. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
They're like, we just want to prove he was blind.
Yeah.
They chuck a tennis ball in his face, and it hits him dead in the face. Fucking bam! And he's like, oh, ah!
Like dodgeball.
And he puts his fists up. Who the fuck was that?
Deirdre is ripping Chris to pieces in the
Oh
chat.
my god!
We
Chris,
get
Chris has been remiss lately.
That's it.
We've been missing him. He's been remiss.
I ain't missing you at all.
Missing you since you've been gone.
So I watched. Let's see. I watched. What the fuck's that Kevin Hart movie? Me Time, I think it's called on Netflix.
He still makes movies.
It's Kevin Hart and Marky Mark.
Oh no.
Marky Mark, he's going.
Oh my god!
What do they call it? The full frontal, full rear? Would that be where he's completely naked from the back?
I don't need to see his ass to see him as an ass.
I
fucking hate Marky
I know
Mark.
you do.
He beat somebody's eye out of their head.
He did.
Out of a racially charged attack.
Absolutely
That's
right.
fucking nuts.
Because it's what happens, and that's
why
the
are
only way.
we giving him a pass?
Because he opened a burger shop with his family, and that makes him
Wahlburgers.
wholesome.
But any of his other relatives don't have that kind of stuff against them. If the other Wahlbergs
Didn't make it. It's because you couldn't feel it. That's why.
is it because he's a psychopath that he's successful?
In a
You
way,
think that contributes to it.
I think it's definitely a contributing
Contributes
factor. It's not
to
the
his
soul factor.
personality and all that he has that ruthlessness
Yeah.
and that weird, like, I don't think he has charisma, but like apparently some kind of charisma. He's like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Like he's always out of breath a little bit, and he's like,
he reminds me
everything's
of
gonna be okay.
like
yeah.
Ice-T. Like Ice-T when he's like, trust me, as someone who's watched
I don't
4
know
billion episodes of
You
Law
mean
and
to
Order
tell
SVU.
me that this guy likes little children?
Yeah. Again.
Again.
Like, all right, I say it's like, all right, we realize there's no depth to your performance, but it's good to see
He
you
used to be
doing.
a cop killer rapper. Dude.
Oh my god! And when
But I don't know. But I don't know enough about Ice-T. I don't know if he
Yeah.
actually ever did anything awful.
he was a pimp in Baltimore.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
He's from Baltimore.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pimp.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not good. You know he's slapping people.
That's why he was on SVU. He's like,
Oh,
this is my
man.
territory.
I know this.
I know this. This.
But they're always like
This
weird
is
sex
something, yeah.
crimes, and
Right,
it's like,
yeah.
God damn it! I know what it's like to deal with hookers. That's
Yeah.
all I
He's
know.
like,
how to
let
do.
me talk to the hookers. You can take care of the
And it's
bad
like
guys.
every now and then they're giving him direction in
Yeah.
the scene. He's
Yeah.
like,
It's
so how did he hurt you? And he's like lifting his hand up to back.
Ice-T, put the hand down.
Ice, put the hand down.
Hand down.
T,
Hand
T,
down. Yeah.
hand down.
Hands down, baby.
Hands down. Oh, sorry.
Ice, ice, hands down, baby. Okay, you know the song.
What was the hand? I'm sorry.
They just play. Yeah, you got to get them. You got to get them. But
So
it's the same thing. It's like Marky Mark's the same way. It's like, all right, you had that one song that you did, and now you've been in a lot of things. But see, I think it's also a level of expectation. It's kind of like when the kid, you're at like an elementary talent show, like elementary school talent show,
Yeah.
and the kid gets up and he's like trying to do some talent, and they're like, trying to juggle, and they're just dropping shit all over the stage. Everybody's like, "You can do it. It's okay," and it's like, "You're doing great, buddy." It's like, yeah, but if you were at the fucking Ringling Brothers circus, you'd be setting the whole fucking tent on fire just because somebody made the elephant walk the wrong direction, with this double standard. But there's certain people who have that double standard, and I think Marky Mark is one of them.
Meaning that he gets the sympathy.
He gets the pass. They're like, all right, it's cool that he's doing this too, I think is sort of the idea.
But at this point, his acting career is way more prolific.
It is, but
music
it doesn't
career
mean that
was.
it's significant.
Like, he's never, in my eyes, ever really made any amends
No, of
for
course not.
doing the thing he
Because he
did.
didn't admit it. He's not.
He never
he's-
even admitted
No,
it.
of course not. He's not going to bring it up.
Like, and I understand that people make mistakes in their lives, but if you, I mean, there's no way it just ended there.
Yeah.
That's a man with violence inside of him.
You just got enough money that you can cover it up.
That's
better.
right. Yeah. It just is more. He gets away with it more.
You know, goddamn well, he's taking vacations and hosteling the shit out of that.
God.
He's
Oh
got,
my God.
He's got people tied up in chairs.
He's cutting their eyeballs
Oh,
out.
yeah, right, exactly right. It's like,
Oh,
feel it, feel
that was the
it.
sickest shit I ever saw. Oh man, in that Hostel movie.
Yeah, that was a
Cutting an eyeball out.
that was a weird time, wasn't it? Saul and
Torture
Hostel.
porn.
Yeah, torture porn just coming
They
out.
loved
With
it.
it. I mean,
People
like,
love that.
I
shit.
think really what it was, like, they took the 80s and they were like, people love nudity in horror movies. But what's missing is more horror. That's what they want.
Make it cruel.
It's not the naked stuff
Script.
that the kids are too young to be able to buy for themselves, or it's too expensive for them to be able to afford in their Betamax players. It's the horror that they want.
Yeah.
Tom Savini was like, I'm on it. Give me 5 minutes. And
Was
and
Tom
a pump.
Savini a part of that?
Of what?
The torture porn stuff.
No. I'm talking about the 80s.
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a huge distinction between Tom Savini type.
Right.
That to me, and I don't know if it's just the quality of the camera work maybe back then, or like what we were seeing, or maybe the prosthetics back then.
Yeah.
But it's almost like slightly more cartoonish.
Yes.
That it doesn't feel as visceral and gross.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right.
Like it's gross, but there's definitely a sense of like separation. I'm not sure if that's because it's older and I'm watching it.
Yeah, I think that has a
You
lot
know?
to do with it, because I've talked to people who, like, I remember talking to my cousins about stuff, like my oldest cousins,
Mhm.
and talking about movies that for me, when I watch them, it's just like, that's cool. That's funny. But for them, it was like, that was fucking visceral shit. And there's a couple movies, of course, I can't think of any of them off the top of my head
Well,
at the moment.
the thing is
Right.
why I love that movie so much is because when I first saw it, I almost had like a panic attack.
Sure.
Well, I did have a panic
Right.
attack. I was like 11 or something. I had like a panic attack watching that fucking scene with the arms, when the arms go in the chest. And, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, I like did not, like anybody who had seen the movie,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
frame
no
of reference, yeah.
fucking idea what
Yeah.
was about to happen.
Right.
I thought it was just normal because the tension is just ratcheted up to that point
Yeah.
where you don't expect in that moment something's going to happen.
Exactly.
They do it so perfectly. And it still gets, like, I still feel a bit of it every time I
Yeah.
watch it, which is part of why I love it so much. That never really wore off.
I think
But watching that in its heyday,
yeah, right. Exactly right. That's it. You have to
Probably
take it
would
in
have been like-
context.
I probably would have been like, that's the Hostel of
Right. Exactly.
1982.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, the pinnacle of like uncomfortable film is Saw 2, when that guy falls in the
Yeah,
the guy
Saw
falls
2.
in the hypodermic needle pit.
Yeah, and then the girl jumps in there.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't jump in there, Jesus Christ!
Well,
Yeah.
that's really sick.
Yeah, it's like viscerally upsetting. But then again, like I remember the first time I watched Hellraiser, like all of it was fine, because just about every single scene where there's anything violent going on, or gory going on,
Yep.
it's always close up shots, and it's like this is like you just barely cut the Play-Doh bottle like container out of the frame.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and like I can see the tube going into the skin that's pumping out all this fake blood. But the very end, when Uncle Frank, wearing Kirsty's dad's, who we're going to meet at MonsterCon,
Oh right. That's right.
when
Oh man, I can't. I want to be all bloody.
oh
See
man,
him. Go ahead.
that's and where he's got his face all stretched out with the hooks right before he goes, Jesus wept, right before that part.
Mhm.
Like that scene was like, I think it was the combination, because I went back and watched it, like 4 or 5 times after that to try and figure out like, why did that scene hit me? And I think it's because everything in the movie stops at that moment.
Right.
And he's not only is he all like stretched out and bloody and shit, but everything is dirty.
Mhm.
And so my brain's like, oh, he's gonna get an infection, right? Like he's not gonna get fucking ripped into pieces.
For 90 minutes,
Yeah,
he was walking
right.
around without skin.
Right.
But that's the moment that you're concerned.
That's the thing, because for me, I just don't want to get sick, and so every time, that's the horror, is just watching all these people in unsanitary situations. But yeah.
Do you have that reaction to the thing? Because that's
No, when I
totally
watched
like an infection body horror.
Well, when I watched that the first time, I was just like, "Oh, cool!" It reminded me a lot of like when I watched Alien and
Yeah, it's got
so-
too much. It's so thematic.
yeah,
And I
and
do
it's
think-
it's very I guess isolated, like the
Yeah,
not
claustrophobic.
well, no, that's not what I mean. It's like it's existing in a separate space.
Oh,
It's
It's like in a bottle.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's
insulated, I guess would be the
yes,
best way to
that's
put
the-
it.
that's the way.
Yeah, it's the idea of like, okay, there's no point of familiarity here for me aside from these being humans trying to figure this out.
right.
I don't have
Well,
any relation to
And
this.
I think that thematically, there's the difference between movies like Saw and Hostel
Mhm.
and movies like even Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Right, Hellraiser gave me a visceral reaction when I watched it. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
like some of that shit was gross.
Right.
But there's like this inherent cruelty
Mm-hmm.
to those movies
Mhm.
that like they're Saw is more interesting because like weird death puzzles.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting.
Right.
But there's like this inherent like just like sinister like viciousness.
Right.
Whereas it's situational.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easier to relate. Like there's no hope. There's no protagonists
Yeah.
in Saw and in
Yeah.
Hostel.
Right.
You have to identify. It's like a slasher film with none of the campy fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right. They've taken it all out.
Strip the campy fun out.
Yeah.
Now it's just painful.
Yeah.
Now it's like read the news. That's how I feel like I'm reading the fucking
and
news.
you know, it's funny that you bring that up because that's pretty much the point at which I stopped like actively seeking out all of that shit. Because
when
it
you
was,
started reading news.
yeah, because I was like, fuck all of this
I don't
shit
need to be
that's
more
going on.
depressed.
It's like the world is enough, and I don't even have to relate because this is all real. Like Jesus
Yeah, dude.
Christ, yeah, it really is. It's a whole fucking thing.
It's the same, and I don't really keep up with news.
Yeah.
Because I want to be, I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I can't predict what's going to happen. I don't need to like read about all the horrors of the earth
Fuck
to
no.
know that they're happening.
Right.
I know that they're happening constantly.
So-
I'd rather just focus on the peace that I can have now.
Yeah.
If I'm a victim of a horrible situation,
Right.
that's only for that time period.
That's it. It's brief.
Why worry about it from now until then?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
I
it.
won't be oblivious to the possibility,
Right.
but that's the balance, right? You can't this fear mongering news. I don't fucking after COVID. That set me completely on the right.
I think it was the.
I watched so much of it. I was like, fuck
Oh,
this.
okay,
I'm
yeah,
done.
yeah, that's
I'm-
turning point.
I was like, it was funny at first. Then it just became fear mongering. Then
Right.
it became annoying, and
Right.
I realized like that 24-hour news cycle.
Oh, dude.
It's constant.
It's yeah.
They just are begging for your stimulation and
Absolutely.
attention.
Absolutely.
I said, fuck this. I don't want to keep seeing like more and more fucking gross, like disturbing shit. I know, and I feel sad. It's hard as an empathetic person to look at that shit. and
Of
be
course. Of course.
like, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to ignore it. Like, I don't like, I want to do what we can to do to fix that stuff, but I
Right.
can't just mire in it and just like,
Yeah, you can't take
dwell
on the
in it.
burden of all
Ugh,
of that.
no,
that responsibility or even witnessing it.
I don't think it's good for anybody.
I think this week I finally was like, you know what, world's all right. It's all right
The
now.
world's doing just
Because
fine.
they recycled this story of this kid whose parents saved up a whole shit ton of money, like a lot of money to the point that they wouldn't talk about it on the newscast, and bought this kid a bicycle with a custom fit refrigerator in the back, and he drives around the neighborhood selling ice cream.
Okay.
They call him Mr. Ice Cream Kid. And the only
That's
reason,
so-
right? Yeah,
So
genius,
catchy.
genius, right? And so they did a story about him, and then I think it was today or yesterday, they went to this kid's house and interviewed him. So that tells me they got the story where they did not interview him, and were like, "We have nothing else to talk about. Go interview
No,
Mr. Ice Cream Kid."
Mr. Ice Cream Kid
And
was a hit.
please give us some news. And so that to me, it's like, all right, things are all right.
Yeah, but you see,
We got to chase down the kid on a bicycle. We're selling ice cream.
Slow news days are great.
This is where I want to be.
There's so much like real good that's happening
Yeah.
that that we're not reporting on I think the obsession with having things be reported,
Right.
and visually seeing and hearing about stuff,
Mhm.
I think it's very unhealthy.
Well, yeah, because
Keep your bubble-
inevitably you feel affronted by it. So
Yeah.
there's that personal interaction. That's
But
the
you're-
whole
but
thing.
You're so separate from it too. Like,
Yeah.
this is all happening to people so far away.
Right.
You know, we are one human like community.
Right.
I guess. I mean, I wish we would all act like that. But
Yeah.
we are one human like family on this little stupid planet that's so insignificant in this galaxy.
Right.
But like, you know, you can't be sitting there worrying about like someone even like states away from you.
Mhm.
You know,
Hmm.
have your personal bubble.
Yeah.
Focus on that.
Yeah, local news, things that directly affect you.
And
Because
even
it's
local
like,
news
yeah,
doesn't do a
there's
great
fucking
job.
people getting shot all the time.
Yeah.
There's mass shootings going on. The fucking Ukrainians are still trying to fight off the fucking Russians. That hasn't gone away.
No,
You know,
that's all
there's
just
shit
getting worse.
going wrong everywhere. There's flooding going on. We don't have hardly getting any rain here. It's like all this shit is happening. Absolutely. That has not changed.
Yeah, the world's always falling apart.
Right, right.
Constantly.
But it's like to see that the munitions of the news is sort of dwindling. So they're just desperately grasping at
and
things.
they're always, even Mr. Ice Cream Kid.
Right.
Which is the worst
Right.
name for a person.
I hope he chose it, because if he didn't, he got fucked.
Oh my god, that's like calling me like Mr. Feet Legs guy. He used them to get around. You won't believe it.
You
He
wouldn't
uses
believe it.
these two special appendages.
He was over here, now he's over there.
How did he
do it? He's
Mr.
Mr.
Feet
Feet Leg
Legs
Kid.
guy. Mr. Feet Legs Kid.
It's like he's got some superpower feet leg kid. That's who we want in our corner.
I mean, for some people, it's the superpower.
Well, for some people,
those that don't have the fortune of having that.
that's true too. Yeah, some people are lacking.
But
in
that guy's Mr. Wheelchair.
Mr. Wheelchair, yeah, he's Mr. Yeah, well, and you know, it's all just a matter of changing your name. It's all about branding. Just ask Lady Gaga.
Mr. This That Kid.
That's right.
That's what you are, Mr. or Miss This That Kid.
Pick two adjectives and put your prefix in front of it. A kid at the end. That's your name now. All right. So let's
Like Chris would be Mr. No Show Kid.
Mr. No Show Kid. That's exactly right. We got to do this. We got to make them all up. Get this all squared away. Let's do some Mr. Weird News Kid. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right. Might be Mr.
It's gonna be a
Miss.
story.
I don't know. Either way, it's
Well, we're not going to genderize it, but
and I'm not sure how old this. Well, there's some of this news.
it's always kid, Matt.
That's it. This is what I lost track. I lost track for a
You
minute.
lost sight.
But now I'm Mr. Can See Again Kid.
Mr. Can See Again.
All right, internet people, let's get things queued up here.
How many weeks in a row do we have to complain about the same things for people to just give up on us?
It seems
I mean,
like
I wonder about this in my own personal life.
we're
Because
catching an ebb and flow here. We've got the fourth person is Chris. Chris is hanging.
Chris is hanging
Chris
in
is
there.
hanging. Yeah,
Chris,
they're
we'll get you in here,
they're
Chris.
all talking. But they're talking about Mark Wahlberg and
They're having their own conversation. I love it. I love that.
oh yeah.
We're just the
Yeah,
impetus.
Deirdre
for
says
other people to enjoy.
everything is all right. 1/3 of Pakistan is underwater.
Oh my god! I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's huge flooding going on there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Well, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna see more and more of that shit because the global warming catastrophe is just getting started.
Not going anywhere.
It is going to get so incredibly like much worse.
We're just in hors d'oeuvre territory right now.
Yeah, we are, dude.
Yeah.
You won't even fucking believe. Like, it's. I try not to think about this because it's so fucking depressing. But like in our lifetime, in like 2040 or 2050,
Yeah.
this world's gonna look very different. There's gonna be
Oh,
parts
sure.
of this country you can't live in anymore.
Yeah.
You won't be able to. I mean, we're not gonna do a goddamn thing to fix it.
No.
We're gonna.
That's why you need to buy inland real estate on a hill.
Right. Go to.
That's
go to
the
fucking-
key.
Go to
Because water
Oklahoma.
always goes downhill, and all you got to do is make sure you're solidly bolted in.
Well, you don't want to have too good of a spot because people will storm it.
Well, that's once anarchy takes over. We don't have to worry about that quite yet. We still got a little bit.
That's true. Maybe not our lifetime.
Yes. Chris says everybody's going to be Mr. Wet, Drowned, Dead Kid. That's too many words, Chris.
Mr. Wet Drowned Dead.
That's 3. Only 2. He's saying he's Captain Bad Blood Man guy. You can't age yourself.
No, I like it. No, Chris, I don't want you to be promoted. I want you to be Mr. Bad Blood Kid.
That's right, Mr. Bad Blood Kid. That's good enough. You can work your way up from there.
Yeah.
That's a good enough start. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
I don't think Cubs yet, so I know all about this.
That's exactly right. I only went to once, and they made me crawl under a bunch of rope to learn how to army crawl. And I was like, "Fuck this! This church floor is dirty."
We already established how I feel about dirty stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, weird news time, everybody. We finally made it. Chris has promoted himself, getting Lieutenant Rotten Blood Dude. it's a
hell yeah.
I'm gonna publicly rip off your patches in front of the crowd. That's what I'm gonna do. The dishonorable discharge.
Just throw them on the ground and stick.
That's it. That's
all
it.
over them.
Some of us were almost won a dishonorable discharge. Okay, here we go.
I've had a few questionable discharges.
Alrighty, folks, here we go.
Chris just got back from Mexico, by the way.
Did he? Oh, no wonder he's so caliente in the
That's
chat.
right.
That's what's happening here. He's still going out. I was talking about dressing down Chris publicly because he's like giving himself all these names now that we've come up with the Mr. Ice Cream Kid thing. And so I said I was going to rip off all of his patches in front of the crowd. And he said he printed out more. Rip them off. He doesn't care. All right, well, let's get started with some weird news, everybody. If I can get the goddamn thing. There we go. Now you all can see it who are watching.
As we begin this, I gotta drink.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna have a.
Oh my God! Wait. Let me get rid of it. Look. Take a look what we got here. Turn it a little bit more. There we go. That's it.
There we are. I'm gonna have a beverage here.
Matt's got some liquid death here, Deirdre.
I'm thirsty.
Maiden voyage?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to murder that thirst.
I'm gonna murder the thirst. I'm thirsty.
Oh my God.
And I'm angry about it.
You got to.
Because this thirst.
Deirdre says, "Fuck you."
That's right.
That's it.
I already feel the edge coming from all directions.
That's it. That's it.
Let's see.
Get ready. Here we go.
I feel like I'm. It's carbonated.
That's what I told you that.
It's not bad.
There you go. See that?
Come on, man. Let me just have a little bit more.
He's going for seconds. This is riveting. What do you think?
Pretty good. It weirdly, I don't know if I'm just not super familiar with the taste of like sparkling water.
Yeah, you just got the.
But there's like a certain taste to it. Even though it just says it's just regular, I didn't get any flavor type.
Right. So you just got the sparkling water. So it's basically just seltzer.
It is. Yeah, it's just seltzer water.
Yeah. So
mountain water and CO2, baby.
Deirdre is furious.
Why?
It's just because you got the wrong one to start, I guess, to get the impression of what the whole purpose is.
I'll be honest with you though.
What?
I do see what you're saying.
All right, there you go.
I see what you're saying.
Blinded by the light.
Because there's a sense that I'm drinking like not water, that I'm drinking some other beverage.
Right.
And it's actually a really smooth, kind of like nice taste. I almost want to say there's like and I'm saying this because I really like cream soda.
Yeah.
There's like almost this aftertaste that's like kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I don't know if that's like sounds crazy, but
yeah.
But I got this just for Deirdre. I mean, Deirdre
said, there you go.
She said it was good, and so I'm like, I trust it.
There you go. That's it.
It's
like I said, I got the lime one, and the lime one was great. I normally just get the Giant brand just because it's cheap.
Yeah.
For the bubble water, but Deirdre really wants to be a part of this experience right now. So that's all right. We're Deirdre's still going to come and still going to educate us.
The whole reason I got this.
There you go.
out of respect for our manager.
There we go. We got, yeah, dear God, because when it comes to nobody else except for Deirdre and Chris understands this, and if Tata's on our Patreon supporter, but we've got a rat music manager.
Yep.
This giant rat smoking a cigar.
That's right, we do.
Just always illuminated by the flames of hell. And we've got Deirdre who's furiously yelling at us because we're drinking the wrong liquid death. But
like if you didn't know what Deirdre looked like this sweet, nice girl,
right.
you would think based on the anger level that she was like our band manager.
Right, exactly right.
You fuckers need to get it together.
That's it. Chris says, "Gotta make that rat money.
Make me my rat money.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it."
Matt put a sign on this, so he's got this old Halloween decoration he dug out of the trash.
Yeah, it was getting thrown away because it was this giant rat that somebody probably got at McDonald's. It probably got it at McDonald's maybe, but it was something
Dang.
like Walmart. Yeah, get in there, dang. So they the tail, like, I don't know if it got ripped off when it was in like the box of Halloween decorations, but one way or the other, the tail got ripped off. And so all the stuffing started coming out. And so they threw it away. And I was like, this is a perfectly terrifying rat. Why is this in the trash? And so I stuffed all the stuffing back in and I heated up the tail area. So I gave it sort of like a heat colonoscopy there to get it all closed up,
What are you gonna do to me?
That's it. They're just going to be like, ha! And then it's going to all
never
punch up
poop
like,
again.
you're fine. Yep. And then I put him up on the speaker, and
That he looks like he was designed by the guy who made Frank the Bunny's suit from Donnie Darko.
yes,
That's what his face looks like.
yes, it does.
He has this very unsettling, weird, like exaggerated, creepy looking face.
Right, I love him.
And he's great.
Yep.
He's an addition to he's part of our band. And Matt put him up on a PA speaker.
Right.
So he's just looming over us when we practice. And he has a sign up that's do you put a cigar in his hand?
Yeah, he's got a cigar in one hand. Yeah, he's got like a long cigar too, like a long one. Yeah.
He's got a sign that says, "Get out there and make me my rat money."
Yeah.
It's like
it's just
I feel like I'm in a dark Chuck E. Cheese when we're in there. Like,
it's better than that cat holding on to the branch that says, "Just hang on."
just hang in there.
This is what we need. We need it.
I feel inspired though to make that rat money.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I do it every day. I do it every day. I got a pocket full of rat. Just please don't eat my toes off while I'm sleeping. God, I need them. I need them to make more rat money. Yeah, I'm a foot model. It's rough out here. It's rough out here. But anyhow, let's get started with weird news. All right. So for our first story, speaking of being rough out here.
Oh my God.
So a Thai zoo's escaped animal. Right, let's start this over again because I'm putting the emphasis on the wrong words. A Thai zoo's escaped animal drill is going viral after photos and videos emerged showing a zoo employee in an ostrich costume fleeing from zookeepers. That's another one of those situations like we had with a bull that was loose in the bank or whatever last week.
Oh yeah. No. This is quite different unless this person's bloodthirstily crazed.
He goddamn well he drew the short straw. He had to.
Let me just say, all right, well, we'll continue on, but
this is kind of scary because that head kind of looks real on that ostrich. Do you think an
yeah,
ostrich head looks real?
Did
they decapitate an
They
ostrich?
printed it out on a really huge piece of paper. Like
Yeah.
It was like a picture.
Yeah.
Cut it out, gave it a little chin strap like a party hat, let this person wear it on the top of their head.
I think this person was a chef in the kitchen at the zoo.
And also, if you're not seeing the images here, you're really missing out on the glory of it because
this is really.
It looks like they draped them in a trash bag.
It does.
And then put a tail on their back.
Like this is it.
And stuck this big, like, I don't know, it's like a 3-foot ostrich neck head.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On the top of their head.
Yeah.
Like, tell me why they couldn't just put a big tall flag on their back.
Or just exactly.
You know
Just
what I mean?
have
Like
him
a
run
big
around.
pole.
What difference does it make how tall he is? You're just trying to cordon him off.
And like, making it more visible to other people. If you put like a pole in their belt that sits about 3 feet over their head with a yellow flag draping off.
Right.
That's the same as seeing like a big tall ostrich running around. You're gonna see the flag, Come on now. You don't need to dress this. You don't need to
It's
humiliate
not-
this
it's-
person.
You don't need to emulate it to this degree.
Unless this person just was looking for an excuse to dress up as an ostrich.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking it is. I think they coordinate, like maybe they did like a lottery, maybe they did like a casting call. You know, maybe Juan went out for this. We don't even know.
Juan might have auditioned for this role.
And I guarantee you, if he did, they turned him down, or he turned them down.
I think he turned
Yeah,
them
because
down
he's
when he
like,
saw-
you know what?
put this costume on. He was like,
Like I can't. This isn't.
eh,
This isn't what I'm looking
excuse
for.
me. I don't know if you've seen this lottery commercial I was in, but the production value was significantly better than what you're
we're
offering
for
me.
a little bit bigger of a craft services budget on the type of things that I'm taking part in.
You want me to wear a trash bag?
That's it. I've got an IMDb page. I don't think it's time for me to be wearing ostrich costumes quite yet. So, yeah, I haven't gotten to that
Yeah, no,
iced tea level.
He hasn't gotten to Steven Seagal's.
No, he's not. He's got a new one out. He's got a new one
Oh,
out,
my
and
God.
I don't know where it is because like Plex now has a thing where you can connect all your streaming
Is it called
services.
Too Fat to Legislate?
It is still some variation on the same fucking four words.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But it's like what do they call those? Is it like not an emphatic, but like total or absolute, one of those types of words,
Epitomal?
and then justice or something like that. I can't even
Oh,
remember
okay.
what the fuck it is. But they only have like half of his face is in a silhouette,
Mhm.
and the other half is like in color, but it's clearly immensely photoshopped so that you can't see all of the roll of fat and the wrinkles and all of the clear signs of aging that he's had, from his.
I feel like he's
journey.
staying fat so that he doesn't look as wrinkly. Because
Some,
it keeps him more
listen,
smooth faced.
if there's one thing we've learned is that
And his widow's peak got way more promined over the years, didn't
more
it?
people die, and so you lose more wives, and it just you just got to keep collecting them. You got to catch them all. It's like Pokemon,
Widowmaker.
but for wives. Yeah.
Like Pokemon, but for wives.
Yeah, that's you. Matt's getting a Keith David call.
Keith David Radio.
Keith David Radio.
Sorry, that's my ringtone. For all
Yeah,
the
that's
people
it.
who don't
That's
know.
it. There you go. This isn't just for you. This is real. This is really what we do. The Chiang Mai Zoo posted photos on Facebook showing the employee dressed in an ostrich costume and makeup being chased through the facility's Africa zone by zookeepers after simulating an escape from a zone's show area.
I don't see. There's already so much humiliation. Also, the legs are completely unmade up.
There-
There's not
yeah.
even like they don't even have Big Bird like feet legs.
Well, there's.
I've never seen an ostrich wearing running shoes.
I've seen plenty of ostriches and pumas because who else is buying them? That's what I say.
Well, that's true, and that is part of their native their land. They're familiar with those pumas.
That's what you want to do. You want to keep them comfortable. You want to keep them in their familiar space because otherwise they get spooked real easy. And that's when they escape. And
why did they have to paint their face?
the better
white?
question is why didn't they let an actual ostrich out and see if this guy could corral them back into their enclosure? That's what he should have done. They should have seen if he could lure them back into where they should have been. You know?
You're talking about this person here
Yeah.
in this photo.
Yes.
He looks like and I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right, but he looks like he's standing in front of like a weird like roulette wheel or something.
No, that's the Africa zone. That's one.
Oh,
of the,
that's the-
yeah. That's one of the shields.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because
And there's some sort of like statuesque caribou or something.
yeah, something like that. I think it's probably one of those curly horned what do they call those?
Caribou.
It's not caribou. Antelope. That's it.
Antelope.
It's one of those cantaloupes. They're all over the place over there in Africa. Well, video shows employees and onlookers laughing as the man mimics the movements of a flightless bird while evading zookeepers bearing nets. I mean, this is a hell of a Tuesday.
What?
You know what I mean?
And is that standard procedure to use nets?
Yeah, to catch ostrich, I suppose. I mean, at least in Thailand.
Why in Thailand do they not have like tranquilizer guns?
I guess they're.
They should have shot this man with a trank gun. That would have put him down real quick.
Well, yeah, but I still maintain the fact that they should have released a live ostrich and see if he could have chased him back into the enclosure. That would have been far more valuable of an exercise.
Isn't chasing an ostrich basically like what the guy in Jurassic Park was doing with the raptors? Because that's like the closest.
You just gotta stick your hands out
You
Both of them in opposite directions, just like
lock
Chris
eyes
Pratt.
with one,
Yeah,
and then-
yeah.
and the other one comes from the
This is
side.
it.
Can I just say that is literally
I guess I'll let you.
some of the worst, some of the worst fucking writing, and like the fact that he goes in
As you do it, you're like the fact that
and
this
he goes
is the
in, I'm acting
writing.
it out right now.
This
This
is
is the writing. And they looked at two good ideas and they put their hands up like, no. And then
Like,
it was like one guy had a good idea.
This
the
is
writer's
yeah.
like,
This is what I have a great idea. Like all right, yeah, you have a great idea, but what? Anybody else have an idea? I have an idea. If we do this way, like
and then the
Wait
other
a
one
minute.
in front of his
Wait a
eyes, he's
minute.
locking eyes with the one, and he's looking at him, and he's like, he's gonna train raptors. Remember how the raptors were the smartest, most cunning,
Oh.
and vicious animals in Jurassic
we
Park?
know it. We know it.
What if they were like dogs?
It would be perfect, and not only dogs, but giant dogs
Giant
that were
dogs.
as tall as people.
Do you know how? Remember how mammals had the brain capacity to think and work in teams, and have like some level of like emotion?
Remember?
Remember how dinosaurs are reptiles? Their brains are like the size of a peanut, and they don't have the fucking ability to rationalize what they're doing.
Remember how they're just interested in eating and fucking and dying? Remember all that? Well, what if we wipe all that away? When we go back to a time when we were small rat-like creatures trying to exist on a planet that was being destroyed by natural disasters. What if we brought all that back? But instead, we have a dog whistle, maybe some kibbles and bits, maybe a milk bone. Maybe we throw a dino milk bone out there. We become Mr. Dino Milk Boy, man boy.
Did I tell you I rewatched House and House 2?
Oh, when?
Like
I thought
2
you meant.
weeks
I
ago?
thought you meant with what's his face?
Huh?
With
with the guy who's in him.
no.
The guy from Cheers. I had him over and we were watching House.
No, Anthony Michael Hall
No.
with the cane. With the cane, he's the doctor, and he's like, "You're gonna fucking die," and then he saves him at the last
You
minute.
talking about House?
Yeah,
What?
that's what you said.
Yeah, I'm talking about the movies House.
I know you are, but until you
Oh, I
said
watched
house.
I watched it with House, the doctor. Yeah, the cane. He goes up and he says, "You're gonna die," but then he saves them. That you basically summed up the whole like actual show of House, by the way.
And House
He's-
2 as
he's
well.
a dick.
It's a separate season.
House too. It was they rebooted the whole show and just had cast Hugh Laurie again. House 2. You're gonna die.
I'll say
But I'll
Anthony
say it,
Michael
yeah.
Hall. Yeah, but no.
But I was rewatching House 2.
Yes.
And they go to like this is the most bonkers batshit crazy
Yeah.
movie though. It's so fucking
I
dumb.
love it.
It's so stupid. Me and Matt bonded over this.
Yes,
movie,
we did.
By the way, this
Yeah.
was the first bonding experience.
And
we've
it was
ever
by
had.
happenstance too. I
In our lives.
didn't intend to watch that movie. It was just on one day.
It was
My
just
dad
on.
was like, "You want to watch this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on with these Vietnam flashbacks?"
Dude, okay, so rewatching it, that movie was actually like the core of it had a pretty cool like emotional story going on.
Oh,
with this
sure,
guy
yeah.
and his PTSD
There's
and like
potential.
not wanting. There was something good about it, and it was Sean Cunningham, the guy who did Friday the 13th.
Yes. Yep.
I never knew any of that.
Mhm.
The second movie, amidst a bunch of insanity, they go back in like prehistoric times, and there's some weird little like dog caterpillar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's basically what the writers watched House 2 for Jurassic World, and then
Yeah.
and all of its stupid sequels or whatever. I don't know, what was it? Jurassic Empire, Jurassic Dynasty, Jurassic Kingdom, Jurassic Fuck You.
What the fuck is it
Give me your
called?
fucking money.
World,
Who cares?
Jurassic World. That's what the new ones are. Yeah.
Some stupid
Right.
shit.
Right. Of course.
God, it was so dumb.
I know.
But yeah, like you can't just rewrite historical biological facts.
Right.
Raptors can't
Or
be
so you
trained.
think. Or so you
Raptors
think.
aren't your friends.
That's it.
They'll never look at you. Siegfried and Roy. Me and Elsa just looked this up the other day.
That's it.
I guess it was Roy got his whole face ripped off by a tiger that they had known forever.
That's it. And don't even look what Teller did to Penn. That's a whole different
He had
story.
about 4 more feet on him.
Woo!
He
Let
used
me
to
tell
be
you.
taller.
He was way tall. And a
So he-
ponytail. Ponytail's gone.
Chopped him down, ripped all his hair out.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
then he keeps him there.
There's a price to pay for silence.
Keep- Keep him under his thumb. Sorry.
That's
All
it.
right,
You
we
gotta
can
do it.
continue.
You gotta
So
do
people dressed up
You
like
gotta do it.
ostriches over here.
Well, so
Were they, the big question is, were they caught?
well, the person was finally caught, but the Facebook post said that the drill was designed to build readiness, enabling a real situation where management would have to prepare measures for an escaped animal. So
There's
there
no
you go.
way this guy is faster than an ostrich.
No, are you fucking
Or
kidding
as
me?
fast.
No way, they're made to evade predators.
That's their whole fucking deal.
Oh my God, it's the
Sure.
reason why we can't climb trees efficiently anymore, because we don't need to evade predators anymore.
Right, we are the predators now.
Jesus Christ.
And also, an escaped ostrich, all you gotta do is just lock the park down, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
let me get this straight. You'd rather get a guy to dress up as an ostrich
Mhm.
than fortify the ostrich pen?
How about
Fish
you
don't
make
get
sure
out.
your fucking building is sound? How about that? How about that for a change? Yeah, Jesus
A
Christ.
little easier, I
What are they
think.
going to do? Fly over the gate?
Yeah,
They're
man.
flightless
They're like
birds.
penguins now.
Jesus Christ. All you got to do is fortify everything to be fine.
They put all their skill points in legs.
That's right.
And none in wings.
That nets and legs. That's where all their interest is. Well, speaking of fortifying things, move on to the next one. There it is. So we're heading to China now.
Sweet.
We're staying in Asia.
All
The
right.
city
Love
of Chongqing,
Mhm.
dubbed one of China's 4, quote, furnace cities, is known for both soaring temperatures.
Oh no. I was
Not a great thing to be known for.
I
Like,
thought maybe they were like the
Welcome-
lead export of furnaces.
yeah,
in
no.
the
Welcome to
in the world.
Chongqing. It's always fucking hot over here.
Ah, shit.
Yep.
It's
Well,
freaking sweltering out
It's,
here.
it's never below 80 degrees even at night. It's known for both soaring temperatures and, more interesting to me anyway, spicy cuisine.
Mm.
Okay.
They lean right into it. They're like,
Oh,
our
yeah.
bodies are on fire, our mouths on fire.
Let's do it. Let's all get in the boat. Here we go. So notably, it's hot pot, a peppery, bubbling tabletop broth in which diners dunk bite-sized pieces of food to cook and eat.
It's like fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So the inland metropolis on the Yangtze River has the perfect escape to enjoy a hot pot, even in what has been the summer of unusually stifling heat. World War II era air raid shelters have been converted into restaurants.
They had World War II air raid shelters in China.
Yes,
China was that close to the involvement.
that or they were
I guess
thinking about it.
geographically. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Jesus, that's crazy though, because that war never really
Yeah.
went that far.
Mhm.
World War II, I know it did. There was an Asian front, of course, because of the assault in Japan.
Yeah,
Subsequently, then the atomic bombs were dropped. But
right.
but I don't. Maybe geographically this is close to that area.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
whereabouts
But
they
then
are.
again, I mean, who am I to say when the
Yeah.
world is at war
I was
that
gonna
you're
say,
not going
yeah.
to build a bunker to save
Yeah,
yourself?
it might be
I don't care
wise
if
to
you're from-
prepare just in case.
I don't care if you're in Antarctica.
Yeah,
You're probably
exactly
like,
right.
yeah, the whole thing's going down.
They're like, yeah, let's double down on this just in case. But they said that they converted these air raid shelters into restaurants due to their naturally cooler temperatures, and locals call it the cave hot spot, or rather, the cave hot pot.
It should be called the Cave Cools.
Kid,
Cave,
yeah.
Mr. Cave
Mr.
Cool.
Cave Cool Kid. So Chongqing was temporarily the capital of China during World War II as a
Is it
Japanese invasion drove the
Chong?
government.
Is it Chong or Chong?
Chong, CHONGQING,
Okay.
Chongqing.
Got it.
It was temporarily the capital of China during World War II as the Japanese invasion drove the government out of the capital of Nanjing and occupied eastern China. Leader Chiang Kai-shek, the military, foreign diplomats, and others set up in what was a remote city in the southwest. So today's the stone archway the stone arch doorways of former shelters still dot the city. Some have become cafes, mahjong parlors, and others restaurants. So the red Chinese characters hang over the entrance. It's stonework half hidden by refrigerated drinks, displaying cases of stacked up plastic chairs. And the characters say, Cave Pavilion Hot Pot, founded 1989. So
You
there
know,
go.
I do think, and maybe it's just the overcrowding in the area, but I do think having these weird vending machines, like covering up the cool, like historic construction is marring some of the appeal, some of the aesthetic.
To a degree, and I imagine
Put it
that
on the inside,
some of
dude.
the people. I mean, give it another 20 years, and then
Yeah.
it'll be that way. But you know, because there's still people around, I guess that
Oh, who
that could
remember.
potentially remember all that stuff.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, especially in these countries where people tend to live a little bit longer, I guess.
That's true.
But particularly in the summer, it's very difficult to be in these particular regions of China, as temperatures can rise up to 104 degrees in many places.
Oh my god!
I had no clue it was that fucking hot.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Chongqing, the immediately south of Sichuan, which is part of the province until the city and the surrounding areas were broken off administratively in 1997. Some date the city's hot pot tradition to the 16th century, when porters ate meat and vegetables boiled in fiery spices after a hard day's work at the docks. So I don't know about you, but this sounds fucking delightful to me.
Well, not the temperature of the weather,
And not the
but
temperature.
going down into a bunker
To
and eating
eat
spicy food.
Oh
Sounds
my
awesome.
god, I would love to do that.
100% won't take any convincing.
Yeah.
I can go right.
I'm on board.
If you want to go down there, I'm with you. Let's do
I'm
it.
down, as they say.
I'm way down.
I'm way down in the bunker.
400 feet below sea
Whatever,
level.
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes for me to
to
avoid
escape that
nuke
blast
and to
and to
eat.
eat that spicy food.
I'm gonna cook my raw
Oh,
food in a hot boiling pot,
That's the ticket.
and just I do that all the time.
That's it. Well, you got
My mom used to do that with hot dogs.
Well, that's hey, I still do that with hot dogs.
Oh God, that's the worst way to cook hot dogs.
It's no wonder that you were so viscerally affected when I said, yeah, just boil them.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Ugh.
Like normally, I mean, during
don't boil.
during any time except for the winter, I do it on the grill.
Oh, okay.
But when it's cold outside, I don't want to do that. So.
I'm just doing the skillet.
Yeah, but I got the George Foreman. Sometimes I whip that out, but then I got to
Stick 'em
clean it and all that stuff. Or if you boil them in a pot of water, or sometimes I just wrap them in a wet paper towel and I just throw them in the microwave. Sometimes that's all you got to do.
Oh.
That's enough. Nitrates. So speaking of nitrates, scientists have created not the first, but a synthetic mouse embryo from stem cells without a dad's sperm, or a mom's egg or womb.
This won't even end up on Maury.
There's no, you are the father, you're not both of them.
There's no,
You're not
all
the father
celebrating.
and you're not the mother.
woo,
They're
yeah.
both- yeah, and they're going to opposite sides of the stage because they're never going to have to see each other again.
That's
The
right.
lab created embryos mirror a natural mouse embryo up to 8.5 days after fertilization, containing the same structures, including a beating heart.
Wow.
Here we are. This is where we are, folks. We're eating spicy food in bunkers, and we're making mouse embryos.
Well, they're doing it. Where is this?
This is in, we haven't got there yet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, here in this country,
Yeah.
we are disrespecting
Yeah.
everything
You're right.
about the process of social process of life and
Yeah.
and or lack thereof.
Mhm.
And here, and somewhere else in the world, they're making mice out of nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Just like, man,
Just shitting all over the whole
you done with this?
sanctity of a
You done with
life.
this Dunkin' Donuts? I'm going to turn it into a bunch of mouse embryos. Well, the lab created. Oh, I already did that. In the near term, researchers hope to use these so-called embryos to better understand early stages of development and study mechanisms behind disease without the need for as many lab animals. The feat could also lay the foundation for creating synthetic human embryos for research in the future. It's time for Ewan McGregor to get back on his island with whoever the fuck was the girl in that movie.
The island?
Yeah, who was that?
I thought that was
Jessica
I thought it
Biel?
was Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Yeah.
It was
Clones up there.
that was
They were-
not
they were
Leonardo
clones.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, it was.
No.
We'll find out later.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it. Ewan McGregor was definitely, because I remember seeing his face on the cover of that movie. I'm like,
2005.
yeah, I that sounds about right. I'm 99%.
It is then.
Ah,
Michael
there we
Bay
go.
and Scarlett Johansson.
Michael Bean
Also,
and Scarlett Hansen.
Sean Bean.
Oh, that's
Michael
it. I
Clark
was
Duncan
making a joke.
and
So there
Steve
you go.
Buscemi.
There, Steve Buscemi was in it, of
all-star
course.
cast.
Yeah, that's right. One saying Leo, my favorite.
Oh man, I love it. All right, Matt's favorite.
That's right. Yeah. So we're undoubtedly facing a new technological revolution. It's still very inefficient, but it has enormous potential.
I apologize. It's called The Beach.
The Beach.
But it's literally the same motherfucking
It
concept.
doesn't matter. It's not the same movie.
Anyways, yes, continue. You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Just like how this mouse is a mouse,
That's
but it
right.
has no parents.
No parents.
Just like
Annie.
Batman.
So the speed could also lay the foundation for creating. We already did that part. So this is all taking place at the National Biotechnology Center in Spain. Who is not part of the research, but they're still participating in certain experiments. It is reminiscent of such spectacular scientific adventures as the birth of Dolly the sheep,
I
which of
remember
course
that
we
one.
talked about before, and that was back when we were in like 6th grade, I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I remember seeing
like,
slides
oh,
on
God.
the what the fuck
It's an
were those?
affront to God.
Yeah, exactly right. Of course, being in Catholic school, what are you going to do?
You're talking about those the projectors?
No, the fucking laser discs.
Oh, right,
We
yeah.
used to have them. So anyhow, building embryo models is an alternative way to study certain issues to create the synthetic embryos, the embryoids, as they call them. Scientists combine embryonic stem cells with 2 other types of stem cells, all from mice. And then they create it in a lab, use a particular type of dish that allows the 3 types to come together. And while they aren't perfect, they still are able to be indistinguishable from natural mouse embryos. So, this is.
I say it's all right to make them because they ain't got no souls.
They ain't got no souls. I don't got that one sound word. Let's just do this one. So this is where we are now, folks. I'm happy to say. So scientists stress that the growth of a baby from a synthetic human embryo is neither possible nor under consideration. Wink, wink.
Sure, now.
That's it.
But soon enough, that's all where it's heading, right?
Isn't
that the idea? Growing,
all right.
Grow your own liver, grow your own kidneys, grow your own
Why
body
would you
parts.
not do this? Why would you not? Why would you not? I mean, yes, I understand that people have trouble separating empathy, I guess is really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea of they look at something else and they automatically imbue it with themselves. You have feelings, you have thoughts. Look at my car; it has eyes, and all this shit, right? Anthropomorphizing things. So, but the reality is, okay, as long as we are biological beings, we are going to need biological replacements. Listen, join me on the transhumanism front, okay? Come join the magnet squad, all right?
This is your
We're
platform.
wiping credit cards out. We're picking up screws off the parking lot so we don't get flat tires. Our lives are great, okay? You're off there fighting about when a baby is, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like having your metal coffee cup across the counter and not having to get up to get it. That's all you got to do. You just reach out and you can even have fun with it. You can get your fake little extendable lightsaber out and pretend you're using the Force.
Somebody can hand you their laptop. You can wipe all the memory off.
But see, the best part is now we have solid state drives. We don't have to worry about it.
Oh, there you go.
Solid state, you don't have to worry about wiping it with a magnet. It's only the standard hard drives because they have metal pieces inside that the magnet actually rips the pieces apart inside the hard drive. That's why it destroys them. Yeah. There's a very delicate little arm that reads the discs that are in there, and the magnet actually like rips it off of the motor, and that's why it stops working. But you can get it rebuilt in a clean room, but it costs a lot of money. Drive Savers can take care of that for you. But anyhow, maybe we'll get them to sponsor us. But yeah, so
somebody will.
That's it. Somebody's got to do it eventually. We'll figure it out. I guess technically Tyler's sponsoring us, so
that's true.
That's
Tyler. We're gonna need your
Tyler and Watson, Tyler and Dr. Watts. Those are our sponsors for the day. But in the future, similar experiments will be done with human cells, and that at some point will yield similar results. This should encourage considerations of the ethics and societal impact to these experiments before they happen.
We're not in the right kind of state of mind culturally, apparently. But I think once
This is how I feel.
That's my mentality.
That's it. If I ever became a doctor and I was working on this, that's how I would leave.
I mean, I think as long as there's no sentience going on,
Right.
and I think as long as a creature doesn't have sentience,
Yeah.
then it is not some, like, if you're growing, a kidney,
Mm-hmm.
and you just grow that.
Right. You don't have to grow the brain.
You don't have to give it
all that. Right.
You don't have to give it the rights like that.
It-
You have to
Don't give it a life.
No, you're on the Kickstarter.
You're on a Kickstarter. He can't hit. All right.
He can't hit.
He can't hit at that price point. But listen, if you need a body part and you know how to take a 3D printed organ, flush it with stem cells,
I mean, especially if
and
it's
get that shit
your
to
own.
function, don't make the rest of it.
Like if you can do this with hearts.
Oh,
My uncle had 2 heart transplants, and he was on medications
Mhm.
forever. He was like, his weight would like fluctuate significantly. He was run down. He was just kind of like glazed through, like just zombified through life,
Right,
because he was so fucked up. He used to be so hilarious and like crazy,
sure.
and then I just watched him just whittle down into like just like existing.
Right.
Right. Because he had to have so much other shit because his body was rejecting it constantly.
That's it.
His body was rejecting another person's heart.
Exactly
If
right.
you can make your own fucking heart again,
Make your
then
own.
do it.
Make it.
I mean, if you have to build a person and rip it out of them, like in The Island with Ewan McGregor,
Yeah.
don't take Ewan McGregor's heart.
Don't.
Because his heart belongs to our country.
He's contracted
And his
with Disney
countries.
Plus right now. He's trying to do Obi-Wan Kenobi shows.
All of Scotland is looking at him with
He's
pride.
got so much train spotting too.
He's
He's
got
got so many
He's got
things
Train
to
Spotting
do.
too. Oh wait, didn't he do Train Spotting too?
It already happened. Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
never watched it. Oh,
I don't think it came out yet, did it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Juan.
We probably need help.
Yeah, with Elvis it came out.
That movie was like so just depressing. I don't know if I'd watch another one.
Yeah.
It was
Train
horrible.
spotting. Yeah.
Train Spotting. Yeah.
I only liked it because Rob Halford was in it. So he's the porn clerk in there.
Oh my
no,
God.
that's Spun. That's Spun. I'm
Spun.
mixing them up.
You're thinking of
I'm
Spun.
mixing them
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I remember you showed me that
Yeah,
though.
yeah, that was pretty cool that you did that.
Yeah, grow our body parts. Come on.
Grow.
Get with the program.
I'm all about growing body parts because
Just don't go brain.
Jesus, I'm already that too. But I know you're not. We already had this conversation.
Growing a brain.
Growing a brain. Grow me a brain. Grow me a new brain.
No, you can. Okay, yeah, that's fine as long as like it's getting transferred ethically
Well,
back to you, and it's not just going to get.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
saying-
ethics.
I'm saying
no.
don't grow a whole human being,
Right.
cut their head off, and hand the rest of the organs to you.
Well-
Like a whole person that would have been a person.
We started
otherwise.
with this Tales from the Crypt. It's all the girl's going to
That
go with
back
whoever's got
alley.
the most money. It's all what it's about. It doesn't
I mean,
matter.
I'm saying save the brain though,
Yeah.
and let it exist on.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make one,
Well-
and you don't need it right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I just think that the idea is you're growing replacements of parts, not replacements of people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just don't make
right.
an entire person.
Right.
out of it.
Exactly.
Just make the part.
Just
One part.
it's like McDonald's. Okay. We're
Made-
not
made to order.
we're not looking for a meal. We just want this piece, that piece, whatever we've got. So Juan's throwing some real gold in here, and I'm not going to talk about it because it's about to interrupt the next story, which is going to be kind of close.
Okay.
Well, all right, folks. TikTok has been the origin of many strange social media trends over the years. We were talking about this in the pre-show. We may have even been talking about it in the pre-show. I don't remember.
Well, we're talking about it now.
We're talking about it now, and that's all that matters because this is on the recording. So some of those things are the gentle minions phenomenon. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Is that the whole term, gentle minions?
Gentle minions.
Or are we talking about just the gentle versions of those stupid yellow fucking pieces of
I have
shit?
no idea if Deirdre's still here. Maybe Deirdre can help
Help
us
us,
with all
Deirdre.
this. We don't know what's going on with the young
I'm too
people.
old to know what's happening with these young people.
Yeah, it's well, another one's called the penny challenge. God can only imagine where we're stuffing currency. Deirdre says we don't want to know.
Mm.
So okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, this is going to we're going to keep going. You're just going to explain it to us later.
Okay.
And quote, the famous relative checks.
Okay.
No clue. But this new trend that's called vabbing
Okay.
might just be the strangest one yet. Even though it's
Vabbing.
because it's something that's a tale as old as time, as Andrew Lansbury once told us.
And it's always.
That's right. So the trend known as vabbing is a mishmash of words of. You're just saying this is old news, but of course with TikTok, they're what are they 8-second videos?
It's new news for me.
So this is it. So vabbing is a mismatch of words of vagina and dabbing.
Ew.
And its practice sees people with vaginas taking their genital secretions and dabbing it on their skin in lieu of perfume.
Oh, what?
Yep. The idea is to use one's natural scent and pheromones to attract romantic attention. According to TikTok users, it works apparently. They said, as one user said, vabbing 100% works. I was offered 2 free drinks at the pool, and a guy literally came back and gave me a gift. So that thing, and so another.
I'll give you $40 to get this stinky old fish away from me. It smells. You smell like a fishmonger. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I'm glad that you brought your kids to the pool, but you need to get some of these pH strips and figure out what's going on, okay? Something is wrong. So this is really is wild thing. So while the trend has amassed approximately 13 million views on social media, according to estimates, multiple health experts.
What kind of Wild West lawless nonsense is going on TikTok, by the way? Like, people are literally putting, like,
what are you gonna do?
Are they demonstrating this or just talking about it?
Yeah. No, they're demonstrating. Yeah, because I'm skipping
over.
over.
Are they able to what are they showing? Oh, like they're like reaching off camera, pulling up a bunch of wet fingers and just rubbing it on their necks and shit. What's happening?
They're doing like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, and like,
oh my god,
just under the eyes.
Like wait till we get to the buttholes.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. You know, that becomes the sentiment, I guess.
Mask your regular scent in all your filth.
That's
just like putting shit under your eyes. You're covered in dog, like just fucking nasty ass poop.
That's it. Well, so the trend has. I don't know where you're getting that, but so multiple health experts have said.
I'm saying you keep on going right past.
Oh, I see. We're looking for the elevation. Where's it going next?
Right. Where else is that head? Earwax.
It's all about trends. You got to follow the trends.
Right.
Well, the trend has amassed approximately 13 million views. Multiple health experts have come forth to yell "No" at the unsanitary practice. Fortis Hospital gynecologist told the local press that the trend has no scientific basis at all, as humans don't experience the same basic scent instincts that other animals do. So there's a potential to get an infection. We've had bacteria and fungi on our skin, and if we upset the vagina's natural balance, it can cause a localized infection. Says a particular gynecologist. But those aren't the only risks that it might pose to a person's health. London gynecologist told the Daily Mail that if certain bacteria is already on the fingers and then inserted into the vagina, it can lead to a myriad of issues. We secrete the same pheromones through the glands of our body, said another doctor. We have the pheromones in our sweat. There is absolutely no reason to take moisture from one part of our bodies and put it onto another. There's absolutely no need.
We evolved over millions.
Right, exactly right.
Upon millions.
The only reason we're here is because it works.
And I'm pretty sure your body knows how to attract people.
That's it.
I don't think you need to rub pussy smell all over yourself.
You don't need to do it.
To attract a mate. Like this is the This is the fucking arrogance.
Yeah.
Incredulity.
Incredulity. Yeah.
The arrogance mainly of people who are like, I'm on TikTok, I have a platform, I have secretions, I'm gonna rub them on myself.
This is
try this tip.
Oh,
Look at me. That's actually what they're screaming is just, please, God, I want to be validated.
please, please.
Oh, God, this is like, it's just the.
I have this thing. Someone please tell me you want it. That's.
I gotta smell this all day.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
so do you. All right.
That's it.
If I gotta be
Just-
sick,
just desperately.
you do.
If I gotta be sick and die alone, you do too. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get you all. Well, speaking of being sick and dying alone,
Oh,
in 1979,
Okay.
okay, researchers unearthed the mummified body of a 55,000-year-old bison in the Alaskan tundra. Okay,
Nice.
recently, some people have had the genius idea of slicing off a piece of its neck, cooking and eating it.
Okay.
I don't know if this was particularly a TikTok challenge, but
this is somehow stupider than the last
this
thing.
is, I know we're really going downhill. So a team of explorers ventured into a mine. They certainly didn't find gold, but with a hydraulic mining hose, rather, they were they could throw the horse in there. So they were able to melt away some of the frozen sludge, and they found the remains, the skeleton, the skin, and muscles, all in near impeccable condition. As they named it Guthrie, in the Blue Babe ox, they sliced off a piece of its neck and used it in a culinary mission. So they served 8 steaks from the piece that was removed.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
If this bison was preserved so well, that means that he was basically like frozen.
Okay.
And he was like, his meat was in a freezer for all that time.
So
I'm saying
hold on.
it's not. I'm saying that they may not get sick from it.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's well past its sell by date, which 50. How long? 55,000 years or something.
55,000. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That might have been the oldest piece of meat that anybody's ever eaten.
I'm pretty sure it was. So,
But putting it that way though, it's like, shit. Do you want to be the guy that ate the oldest piece of meat in the world?
I guess.
Maybe.
I guess it's
I mean,
better.
I think
it's
that
better
you would
than
be.
dabbing it on your skin. So,
Literally, if this was the taco that they unearthed from Taco Bell,
well, as long as it still had good sauce on it.
you take a bite.
I don't care about the food. It's the sauce. That's what I want.
And they put that sauce.
Pour some hot cheese on there. I'm all about it. Some 30,000-year-old cheese, whatever. But
all
right.
Actually, that wouldn't be too bad.
So
that's mold.
That's what you want. You just scrape the mold off the
It's
top.
a
When you melt
lie.
it, down, you just scoop off the bad stuff.
Yeah,
It's going to make you sick, and you eat the stuff underneath.
Mhm.
It's like the class system. It organizes itself. So this is the thing, right?
Okay.
Have you ever eaten any kind of baked goods that were frozen and then thawed out?
I don't know if I have.
Okay, so this is apparently a trend
Like
in
a pot pie?
some. No, I'm talking like loaves of bread,
Oh,
like rolls.
yeah.
Okay? This is an Italian thing, from what I understand. Okay,
My mother used to stick bread
yeah.
in the fridge,
Keep
in the
it-
freezer.
Keep it in the freezer; it'll last longer.
I don't
right?
understand what, because literally it gets just disgusting.
It's completely awful
Yeah.
because what happens is people fail to recognize the fact that there is like liquid that's evenly distributed through the bread,
Mhm.
and that when you freeze it, it comes to the surface, okay, and crystallizes, and therefore does not go back into the bread when you thaw it out again.
Now it's like dipping it in water.
Exactly
and then
right.
eating
You
it.
might as well have sat it out in the sun.
Yeah.
And so I imagine that there was a similar texture at the very least going on. I don't know. I've never eaten, anything over 10,000 years old. Under my seats because, the blazer didn't last that long. But I can't comprehend. The closest thing or the closest opportunity I ever had was when we were, strangely enough, in Ocean City. My mom and I were at the Shipwreck Museum, and the guy who owns the Shipwreck Museum, or not the museum itself because he rents it from Cecil City, but all the stuff that's in it, right? This guy who dove and actually recovered all this stuff, he had bottles of rum that he had recovered from a sunken pirate ship.
Oh wow.
Yeah. and he was like, "Hey, you want to try some?" And he was offering it to people who were sitting around listening to him talk about how he had found different things. I was 19 or 20. I was just shy of being of age to taste this. And to this day, I regret the fact that I did not get to taste that rum, because I can only imagine what that would have been like. I mean, I'm sure it would have been like shit, because rum does not keep very well. I mean, there's all the sugars that are in it.
That's true. I guess it's technically okay to drink.
Oh yeah, it definitely is okay to drink, because my mom drank some.
Oh
yeah, but which is saying something, because she barely touches anything.
Well, yeah,
but,
I've never seen your mom drink.
Yeah. But I cannot imagine. I would have loved to have that opportunity. So every time we go on vacation there, which has been some years since we've done that last, I always go to the Shipwreck Museum in hopes that he will be there, and I can say, "Listen, I was here 8 years ago, or however the fuck it's long. It's been way longer than that now, but however long it's been, when you offered the rum, is there any left? I want to try some of it so bad." And I guarantee you that if that guy is there, that he will give me some. He's that kind of. He's just like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." Like he kind of just takes everything as tried. So
he's got like a flask in his back pocket.
Hopefully, that's it.
Waiting
He's
for
like,
you to
yeah,
come.
yeah. I remember you. You were the
sure.
19-year-old.
Also, your mom needs to chill.
She's got to chill out, because I don't know if you were aware or not.
If somebody offered my 19-year-old kid some ancient ass rum,
Yeah,
I'd be like, take a sip of that.
I'd be like,
Do it.
You drink. Chug.
Chug.
Get it down, son. This is not going to waste. It's not going to waste. Well, speaking of going to waste, a blind Michigan judge. Let me read that again for you, folks. A blind Michigan judge went for a drive. Yeah, exactly. As 100 people watched Richard Bernstein.
We fucking did a story just like this.
We did, but it wasn't a Michigan judge. It was another guy.
Oh man,
Okay.
I deal with that state now. This might be a judge that I have to deal
You
with.
better get ready.
Wow.
As 100 people watched, Richard Bernstein, or Stein, forgive me, not that you're going to be able to find me because you won't know what I look like. The Michigan Supreme Court drove a car on a dirt track on Tuesday, northwest of Flint, Michigan. I've always wanted to feel what it's like hitting the gas, and what it's like to turn on the ignition, and then what it's like to, I don't know why he keeps prefacing with what it's like
Has he
to
never
operate
driven a
the steering
car?
wheel. No, apparently not.
Wait a minute. He is a judge
He's a judge. He's
in the
47.
Supreme Court, and he's 47. What the fuck?
Never
How
driven
did this
a
guy
car.
pass the bar?
I guess the handicap entrance. I don't
He
know.
can't
So
drive.
it says Sheriff Chris Swanson was in the passenger seat giving directions.
Giving tickets, endless tickets. Ran a stop sign, didn't signal, over the speed limit.
He didn't even know I was here. He just got in the
Didn't
car.
acknowledge me, didn't follow directions.
What an opportunity!
$40,000.
Gotta make that quota. I gotta make that quota. Well, Sheriff Chris Swanson was in the passenger seat giving directions and encouragement. They both wore helmets, luckily.
What? What? No.
They're definitely doing it in one of those driver's ed cars with the extra steering wheel and the pedals. Straighten it out. Soft left. What Swanson said. He's doing it. Bernstein, who is seeking re-election in November, doesn't let blindness discourage him from certain goals. He
He only
run.
hit 4 pedestrians.
Get ready for this. He's run more than 20 marathons.
Jeez.
He's got to be a clicker. There's no
Oh,
way.
man.
Either that, or he's like running arm in arm with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
You know, that justice is blind, Allison.
that's exactly, Allison. I was thinking the same thing.
Well,
That's the only Supreme Court judge that I can
that's
trust.
all we need. That's right. That's what.
Although apparently he knows how to, he can definitely read and appreciate
right.
the differences.
That's it.
that he can perceive.
He sits for his first picture as a Supreme Court justice, and they're putting the blindfold. He's like, no, I don't need it. Leave it off.
Can't see a damn
Leave it
thing.
off.
All I
Leave
see
it
is
off.
eternal darkness.
Well, my whole life, I've loved making people's dreams come true. The sheriff said, I love seeing the joy on the face.
You can't say that.
That's-
Seeing the joy.
Yeah, you're the sheriff said this, not the judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've seen it the last 2 hours of driving him up here. I love that because he was so happy until he got here. It all went
I
wrong.
drove him for 2 hours
That's
up
it.
here. Then I forfeited the wheel.
It was a nightmare after that. It was an absolute.
He kept saying, "When can I drive us home? I know how to do this now.
That's
I'm your superior."
Do I turn left yet?
I
That's
just kept saying,
it's all right turns, friend. But anyhow, so
obstruction of justice.
I hope that he did. I hope he gave him a whole bunch of tickets. That would just make it so perfect. Well, speaking of perfect, the pilot threatened to turn around the plane at the end of everyone's vacation before it had begun if they didn't stop airdropping nudes on the airplane.
What?
I don't know what's going
The
on
whole
here.
cabin?
I don't know. Check. So the whole strange announcement was captured on video by a passenger who filmed the pilot stating that he'd have to pull back into the gate if everybody didn't get off of their phones and stop airdropping nudes.
Does that mean they were airdropping him nudes?
I don't even know what
How
the
did
fuck.
they know what they were doing?
I
with
don't
their
know.
phones?
I guess they're just putting it all out there.
Is this like a high school principal?
So whatever that airdropping thing is, quit sending naked pictures and let's get yourselves to Cabo, he added.
Keep your fucking
They were
panties
just-
on
They were
until we
just
get there.
that's it. They were just trying to crank things up. The whole scene unfolded on Southwest Airlines on their way to Cabo, Mexico, and slightly reminiscent from a scene in The Simpsons where kids are complaining in the back of the car about an angry dad and receives a slap on the back of the head from Nelson. I don't know what that's referencing to, but anyhow.
Why don't you make how about you make it even less relevant?
That's right. Remember that one time in Matlock when they had a horse in the courtroom and everybody was saying, "Why is there a horse in the courtroom?"
It's a horse, of course.
Of course, it's Mr. Ed.
Who remembers a Simpson episode? Like, where's this? These writers are the worst.
It's terrible. Well, so however, instead of back to Winnipeg, the plane hadn't even managed to get off the ground yet before the threats to cancel the flight started. We can only assume that the people using the airdrop to send things to people was unsolicited, which isn't a very nice thing to do, of course. I mean, for certain people. Some people are open to information as long as, as long as it isn't equivalent to being thrown in a pit of hypodermic needles. So one said, "Don't make me come back." There was the vibe of the pilot. Another wrote, "It's like a school bus driver with a bunch of rowdy kids. He doesn't need a reason. If he sees something like that, it's his choice," says air traffic control. If he doesn't like something that's going on, all he has to do is decide that the plane is not leaving the tarmac.
He is absolutely.
He's the captain of this ship.
He's like, you're talking about a guy who has even more training and authority than like even a cruise ship or, even the school bus.
He's got it all together.
And he's probably like, could you imagine going through that much schooling and that much training to have a bunch of people acting around and they can't even just behave for like 40 or, it's probably like 4 or 5 hours or whatever.
It really is the equivalent of taking care of young children. It's just fucking shut down, settle down out there. Well, regardless, we'll have to assume that the activity did stop because they eventually made it to Cabo. However, they've reached out.
To get naked. There's no rules against that.
They're like, "Well, we're in the air. We're out of what is that? Fucking international airs at this point."
International airs.
Well,
we're in international skies. Fine.
But hopefully, Southwest Airlines will make a comment so that we can clear up the matter in the future. So, sometimes you just have to airdrop a bunch of nudes to everybody who's around you.
I mean, without indiscriminately.
Honestly,
to the pilot too.
I would rather us get rid of shaking hands and just airdrop nudes to people like when we first meet. And that way you can decide whether or not you want to be friends with this person.
Here I am naked.
Is that
have to be your dudes or just any dudes?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Just like
checking out a person's taste. Yeah, right.
It's hard. It's very easy to deep fake a nude.
That would be easy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Not
it
getting
all
the real
depends upon the
picture of
money
it.
that you get. Yeah, see, because
I think just eschew and forego shaking hands. Just drop your pants, drop trowel.
right. Well,
Right away.
this
Down
brings
to
up
the
a
knees,
deeper question.
take a look. You like what you see? Whoop. Zip,
We're friends now. That's it.
friends.
I seriously, it begs the question of what life was like on Krypton. Because if Superman's got X-ray vision, right? I know it's enhanced by the yellow sun, but if everybody on Krypton can see each other naked, first of all, why are they wearing clothes?
That's
Second,
why he wears skin tight clothing because
he's like, I'm
I can't.
so
I have
used
to be
to being
decent for
free.
these people.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna show that bulge.
You guys are uncomfortable with the hang. So it's
And also, what the fuck is kryptonite?
kryptonite.
Is
It's
that parts of his planet?
I guess so. I guess it's the thing that it's like oil and water. They just can't separate. The
He
sun and Krypton just couldn't.
Oh, so but because
couldn't
like
jive.
oh wait, I'm so ignorant about Superman.
This is
stuff.
where we need Zach.
Yeah,
could
Zach
help us out
would
with
sit here
this.
and just school me about
Yeah,
all this. He's probably screaming at me.
I'm sure
right
he is,
now.
yeah.
Like
he's going to come. He's going to come on at some point here because him and I have another episode to record. So
oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
whenever that happens, I think we're going to do a double episode. But
Mhm.
we're going to figure that all out. But sometimes you just have
I think
to.
on Krypton he's normal.
Yeah. Well, that
Here,
I don't know. I don't know about normal.
Dulls his powers down, but the sun enhances them. So like it's just all
Right.
about location.
So, okay, so that might be it. So he's normal
He was
there.
airdropping nudes on his way down to Cabo.
That's what it
And
was.
when he got there, he had to be decent because the pilots don't like that.
Listen, friends, if there's one thing to take away from today's episode
Mhm.
and the subsequent break that we're going to have, okay,
Right.
it's that if you are anywhere in this planet, in this world, in this dimension, in this universe, okay, that you have to be decent, have some nudes, like in the chamber to fire down the airdrop tube if you have to, because if you don't, what are you even flying for?
You got to have a
It's
little.
called the friendly skies, okay?
Keep a little anarchy in your back pocket. Keep the business up front though. Keep your clothes on.
That's right. The
Clothes on.
World Mullet Championship just
But a
ended.
nude
Some little
chamber.
kid got it. That's exactly
Chamber and
right.
nude, but keep the clothes on.
You want them to be prepared to see what they're about to see.
I think just disrespect authority is kind of my takeaway.
That's really what it is.
Don't let this guy tell you. You just paid this motherfucker a bunch of money. You can airdrop as many nudes as you want.
That's it. Exactly right. For the
I want
price
his
that
ass
I paid,
to airdrop me to
oh,
Cabo.
that's it. For the price that I
That's
paid,
the airdrop
I'm
you should
ready.
be focused on.
I'm ready to see it.
It ain't cheap to go to Cabo.
No,
This guy's about to ruin your
just
vacation.
ask Sammy Hagar. He's got the Wabo in it too, and that's even more money.
Cabo, wow.
You have no idea how much the drinks cost there. Nothing like the Royal Caribbean.
And they see
I'll tell you
Sammy
what.
Hagar coming, they immediately go and revise the menu and prices.
Oh, you know they do. They're like, listen, he's hiding a lot. He has
Scratching
2
out.
extra mouths underneath those sunglasses. He is ready to eat.
Oh my-
And we're fucked because he's already seen everybody naked. Okay, he was in Van Halen for a while, so
he's eaten the images he's seen.
he's eaten every image that.
Swallowed it.
Oh, you have no idea. He can't drive 55, not because of his speed limit, but because of all the nudes that he's eaten with his
He's
mouth.
always running from something.
Just
And towards something.
and towards.
It's better if he's running from
Mhm.
something than if he's running towards you.
That's right, away from the cops towards the bar. That's where we want to be headed, in folks. And we'll see you next time on a Kickstart with Matt. And that's it. I'm
That's
heading.
where you're running like Sammy Hagar.
I'm running like
Straight
Sammy
to
Hagar
OC.
straight to the bar. There's going to be one that's going to be just off the balcony. I might even I think 2 or 3 floors from the top. I might jump off the balcony into the pool and go straight over to the tiki bar that apparently even the locals go to because everything's so good.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
ready because I'm gonna fucking do it. I haven't been on vacation in 4 fucking years.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long.
Damn, man.
I cannot wait to finally be in a space where I say I only have a week here, but I'm gonna make this last as long as I can. I'm gonna fuck up all the clocks, make them
Do it
go
all.
back like daylight
Cause
savings time every other
chaos.
day. Oh,
Chaos.
it's gonna be
Airdrop
nothing.
nudes on your
Airdrop
trip.
those nudes. Bring them all on. I'll go through them. I'll filter, left and right. Got to swipe. You got to get your swiping going sometimes. But whatever it is, I'm gonna have a good time. I got my polarized sunglasses. I got my GoPros. I got all kinds of shit. I'm gonna have a great time.
You're gonna be a pile of meat by the end.
I'm gonna be a 40,000-year-old, a 400,000-year-old, how the fuck old that fucking 55, whatever it was. I'm gonna be an old ass bison frozen in ice.
I'm gonna slice off a piece of your neck when you get back, and
Yup.
cook it up and eat it.
I'll make those steaks. Make those steaks because it's the only meat that I'm ever gonna be able to give to the world.
That's your
Well,
contribution
at least at this point in time.
today.
Today, you get my meat.
Today you get mine.
That's it. All right, internet people. We got Juan, we got Allison, we got Deirdre, we got the whole crew here. Thank you everybody for being part of all of this. The chat is just pure gold, and it's nice because everybody gets on Facebook, so you can just get on there and follow the thing.
Oh yeah.
But
Can't wait to go back and read all the
all
comments.
this. So, all right, internet people, thank you so very much. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, not next week, but the
Not
week
next
after
week,
we'll be
but the
back.
week after that, we'll be back. I'm going to see while I'm away if I can find an old episode to put up
Oh yeah.
because I found the kickback intro.
Mhm.
I did that the last time that I went away, which was a very long time ago.
Oh,
But
nice.
that's that. We'll see everybody on the other side of all this. That's it. We love you. Goodbye.
See you guys. Have a